I guess
I'm a little motivated.
degenerate.
Welcome, all you listeners, to the FourFaceButtons podcast. Today's episode is on Doom Eternal. Keep in mind that this will be spoiler heavy. Without further ado, enjoy the show.
So to introduce everyone, we've got Doomed from the OneDoomedGameCritic video game channel.
Yo.
Talking about all things Doom, Wolfenstein, and Silent Hill.
I want to be done with fucking Silent Hill. I want to be fucking done with Silent Hill, man.
Well, you want to be done with this Silent Hill. There's good games. But we also have
It's
Wiggle,
me.
our good buddy.
It's me, your boy Wiggle, the guy with an opinion on the internet.
And we're going to talk about Doom Eternal, sequel to Doom 2016. I think better overall, but a lot of strange hiccups. Not really happy with all the choices they made. What do you guys want to start with first?
Do you guys want to start
I
with
would
like
figure-
broad opinions? Just kind of give like our broadest possible take without getting into specifics, and then just go from there.
Yeah.
We can do that. I think that's good.
All right, Aiden. I say you
think,
go first. We go down.
So, okay, I guess in alphabetical order. So,
Yeah.
my opinion of Doom
Yeah.
Eternal. I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was hard. I started out on, I believe it was Ultra Nightmare. No, not Ultra Nightmare. What was the
Ultraviolence.
And then I was just like, ooh,
Ultraviolence.
ooh, game's so hard. Let me bump it back down to not so hard mode, which was Hurt Me Plenty.
Hurt me plenty.
I mean, I had fun. I enjoyed the what's the word? The Kino. It was Kino. I enjoyed that. It was they did they did our man justice, and the cutscenes are fun. I enjoyed it. It was a fun game.
I like the cutscenes. I have some issues with them, but we'll
Rip
get
and
there.
tear.
Huge guts.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I like the story. Well, first off, the difficulty is holy shit, it's a lot fucking harder than 2016. There's no fucking question there. I tried my best to stick the whole thing through on Ultraviolence, and it wasn't easy, but I managed to pull through. I still feel like I cheated my way through because of the saving throw perk, and I stocked up on extra lives here and there. So it doesn't really feel like a deserved win, but whatever. I did the best I could. Not 100... Like, I'm fine with the story. I'm not so happy with how they implemented it. But overall, absolutely fantastic game. I prefer it to 2016. I'm not happy with all the changes, but it's still one of the best first-person shooters that we've gotten for a while, that we're probably still going to get for a
I
while.
give you props for saying that it didn't revolutionize the genre.
It didn't revolutionize.
No,
I
it didn't.
hate
It's
when
just-
people say that.
It's
Yes,
are
they
people
are.
saying
Like,
that?
Who?
GG Man Lives. He's like, it's gonna change the way first person. Like, I love the man.
fuck
He's a
off.
smart guy.
I love G-Man Lives. Like, okay, so G-Man Lives, if you're listening, fucking shout out to you. I've been a fan for years, but I disagree with your stance that this is going to change things forever. It's really not.
I love your videos, man, but that's
Yes.
a little bit of a bold claim.
It's as revolutionary, I'd say, as Doom 2016 was, which itself wasn't that revolutionary. If anything, it was a slower paced Quake.
Well,
for example,
like, yeah, like,
you know?
it has all the same power-ups and everything. I think a guy named Civi was talking about
Bless
that in
you,
his review
Civi.
of Doom 2016.
Bless you for playing.
Yeah, bless Civi.
For playing Blood on the hardest difficulty.
But yeah, like, he was
That's-
talking
that's
about
fucking
that,
impressive.
saying how it's more of a spiritual sequel to Quake than it is Doom, and I kind of
It is.
agree with that, but
Oh yeah.
I don't know, like,
No, I agree.
the way
Yeah.
I've always kind of seen 2016, and now even more so Eternal, is that this feels almost like a first-person attempt at something like a character action, revengeance kind of thing.
So-
Like,
Yes, that's something that
It
I've been
feels-
thinking of. Is that it's basically the first-person shooters
like,
of
and I
Devil
agree
May
with
Cry.
it. It feels like a very stylized version of. It sounds like they wanted to stylize Doom, and they did a good job of it. Like, it's very like it has
phenomenal.
character.
Yeah.
Doom Eternal. It has character. It doesn't mean I like some of the facets.
Absolutely.
It doesn't mean I agree with some of the facets of its character, but it's got it. It's got it in spades. Like, when you say Doom Eternal, people are gonna know what you mean.
this isn't chasing trends.
No, yeah,
Like, if
it has its own identity.
in a
and
way
it does
it
well
kind
with
of
it.
reminds me, and like this is a very bold thought. It reminds me of a Suda 51 game, just because it's normal, and it has like its normal, like it has its feet on the ground, but like insanity is just buzzing around the game, like fucking giant floating question marks. And then there's
I kind of see what you're saying. Yeah, like it's very
I mean, yeah.
video gamey.
Yeah, like, it doesn't give a fuck.
yeah, like it's willing to be its
Yeah.
own thing.
That is kind of interesting to see a video game
Then-
released by a AAA publisher, fuck you Bethesda, in 2020 now, where it just has unabashed video game elements, and I really like that. That was very
Yeah, they
refreshing.
tried to smash it into the ground too. We all saw the rap ad.
Oh my god, yeah, that's a good point. How hard was Bethesda trying to just make it so that
Because
this game
they're
wouldn't
afraid
succeed
that
in
id's
the first
gonna
place?
leave. Because they know that id's a better company than they are.
They know id Software is the
yeah.
one thing keeping that fucking company afloat right now.
100%, yeah, no fucking question.
Yeah, look what they did to Arcane.
Um, did we get around to your broad thoughts, Doomed, or
No.
or we're good?
We didn't say mine.
Okay, share with us your general broad thoughts. What you feel about this?
General broad thoughts. I'm really conflicted on Doom Eternal, which is weird because overall I'd say this is a great game and I'd highly recommend it, but it's the problem. My problem with it boils down to a total package. Is the campaign in general I think is better than 2016. But the one thing is, I guess the caveat I'd put is, if you didn't like 2016, you're not going to like this one. Everything 2016 did, it doubles down on it. So if you weren't crazy about that game, then there's nothing for you here. But if you did like 2016, and you didn't kind of enjoy the way that game's combat and everything worked, it's just more of the same, but I have to stress more. It fucking dumps you with options.
Now, it's interesting. So, first off, I 100% agree. I'm on the same lines as you. It basically took what 2016 started and just built on top of it and gave you more to work with. What I find interesting, and I don't know how much of this is legitimate or how much of it is shitposting, but I see more and more people saying that 2016 was much better, that this is taking everything 2016 did in a different direction. Obviously, there's the fucking DSP video where he's like, "This isn't Doom," which makes no fucking sense to me.
Of course,
Yeah, like-
DSP would say something like that. Whenever DSP, the man who says, "This isn't Batman, this isn't Dark Souls,"
Did he say that?
he's. I mean,
wait,
I don't
what?
think he's actually said it, but like he complains about everything.
okay.
Like he just, and like I understand that's his gimmick, man. Like he is a grade A whiner. But no.
Oh, 100%.
But
yeah.
no, like the
He's a
whole thing
fucking
about
idiot,
saying
too.
that it's not Doom 16. Of course, it's not Doom 2016. Because would you want to play Doom 2016 again? And would you want to pay Would you want to pay $60 to play it again?
Well, I think what I'm saying is I kind of did, but I'm not complaining because this is more of the same
Yeah.
again.
Okay,
And that's why I think his statement
I'm
is
in-
nonsensical, because when he's... Alright, so we're just talking about the fucking DSP thing now, but when he says, oh, Doom 2016, it was so much better, this is nothing like it. What the fuck do you mean it's nothing like
Watch
it?
the next Doom
It's the
game.
exact same game pace.
With the next Doom game, the next thing he's gonna say is, "This is nothing like Doom Eternal."
Exactly.
Remember
fuck off,
whenever
no,
I'm
like-
pretty sure that
whatever.
if you go back, you'll be able to find a clip of DSP saying that Doom 2016 is nothing like the Doom he wanted.
Probably. Honestly, you're
No,
not even
I'm
wrong.
sure. I wouldn't be
But
surprised.
see, that's the thing, though. Like, we can't just say that it's like Doom Eternal. It's not Doom 2016. It's Doom Eternal, and yes, there are some things that are very similar to it. But hey, man, I will give id credit. They took a step in the right direction, but I don't know if it was a step onto like a nice comfy set of grass, or we literally just fell off a cliff and down like into a bunch of jagged rocks. Because like it's an
yeah.
I mean,
Well,
it's a
it's
step.
fucking
yeah.
hard,
I mean,
is what
no,
you're getting
it's a
at, I'm
step,
sure.
but I don't know for sure if it's a step that I'm going to want to replay. I have yet to replay it, and like, I beat it, and I was just like, okay, this is good. I enjoyed this. This is a good ending. I'm happy. But now I'm just like, do I want to go back and beat it on Ultra Nightmare? And I'm thinking about it. I'm just like, I did it for Doom 2016. Do I want to do it for Doom Eternal?
You beat
I
2016
no, I
on
did
Ultra
not.
Nightmare?
I did it. I
Nightmare.
attempted it.
Did you do Nightmare?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I did Nightmare.
Fair enough.
I couldn't do
Fair
Ultra
enough.
Nightmare.
Okay, there we go.
Whenever I said
No, fuck Ultra Nightmare.
whenever I said I went back to attempt it, whenever I went back and I attempted, I didn't do it. Yeah,
but
I
you
wanted
felt
to do it.
compelled to go back to it. Whereas with Eternal, you're like, do I even want to try it? And I feel you on that. Eternal is really fucking stressful.
Okay, so we'll get to the difficulty in a bit here, because I still have some wrap-up thoughts for broad stuff, but we can talk about the difficulty next. I think I'm going to take the opposite stance here. I think the difficulty balancing is significantly better in Eternal than it was in
Oh
2016.
no, I'll agree with you. It's fun. Like, I had a lot of fun with it, but do the master levels and then tell me what you think.
I
You
did. I literally just did them before
Okay.
starting.
No, like the master levels.
I like the master levels
like,
better.
no, I like the master levels more than I like the actual levels, because like the master levels, it's just like, I'm just gonna fucking aim down this hallway and then just shoot. I'm always gonna hit something.
Yeah, well, it's so fucking packed. It's insane, the master levels. I've only done Cultist Base on Ultraviolence. I didn't do Art Complex.
The Cult of Space
but
is
it's
the better
fucking
of the two.
good.
The Cult of Space is the more
Is it?
difficult.
That's a
fucking-
shame.
the
well,
Cyber Demon
I
in
mean,
the
that's
very
good to hear.
beginning.
I'll do Art Complex then.
Yeah, you just get the first area,
Right?
Cyber Demon, Cyber Mancubus. It's
I
like,
was
fuck
literally
you.
just I just had the ballista on
Yeah.
the wide range mode. I'm just like, yeah, I'm just gonna use this.
That's the right move.
Also, I want to say that
But I think,
since
like,
we're,
so
on
if we're
the
just talking,
topic
like,
of
general
difficulty,
campaign,
I like how
the campaign with, like, some minor things, I would say Eternal is better than 2016. Like, with, like, it's only nitpicks in Eternal that bother me, but we'll get to the nitpicks later. As a total package, though, I can actually see the argument for 2016 being a better game, because the multiplayer
No fucking
was...
question.
Yeah.
No doubt.
The multiplayer in 2016 was better than battle mode. I don't even want to hear another
Battle
argument.
mode.
And the lack of snap map when we don't have open mod support is ridiculous to me. But that's my that's why I'm so
I agree.
conflicted on it.
It's hard to say, man. It's
I don't even know.
We'll get to that, because I do have thoughts on both battle mode and its current iteration in comparison to the previous multiplayer, as well as the lack of snap map. I have thoughts on both, but we'll get to that.
Do you want to start with that, or do you want to start with the campaign?
No, I think it's best. So what I think would be best and most interesting is we start by discussing what we think about the story.
Okay.
How much value the story has, if it's well told in comparison to the previous game. I think overall I like the story, but I really dislike the way it's told. I think 2016's story was extremely good. It only had a handful of characters at most. Like, it just had fucking Doom Guy, Hayden, Olivia Pierce, and Vega. I don't think it even had a fifth character. Unless you want to count, the Sentinels.
I think that the way the story is, I think, and I've only heard this from, other people talking about Doom Eternal, is that the reason it's like that is because they wanted to do DLC. I know, evil corporate giants, fucking DLC. But the thing is that there's a lot of hints to, for instance, Samuel Hayden being the Seraphim, the one that gave Doom Guy his powers. Vega being the father, and that the reason Vega was the father was because Samuel stole him after he gave Doom Guy the power from the life machine, the Life Force machine, and then fled. So he took father with him, which made the maker or the con maker go all crazy and shit. And all of this is orchestrated by him because he's some sort of avatar of balance. And that's
I could see that argument, yeah.
And as far as the story goes, I think that the reason for that is they want us to figure it out, and then they want to, I guess, make DLC for it, and then pump out the whole leap between Doom 2016 and now as DLC.
Okay, I can see that.
I think Doom said the same thing, that the first DLC we're going to get is basically... Yeah, you did say that. There's going to be prequels similar to Thy Flesh Consumed.
Yeah, because the way Doom 1 to Doom 2 did it was Doom 2 came out, and there's a quote-unquote plot gap, but who gives a fuck, because it's classic Doom. And they decided when they collected Doom 1 into an actual package bundle for Ultimate Doom, they added in a new campaign, Thy Flesh Consumed, which is supposed to be an interquel sort of thing.
So Thy Flesh Consumed came out after Doom 2?
Yeah, 1995.
I never knew that. Interesting. Huh. I figured Thy Flesh Consumed was the last thing they did before going up to Doom 2, but it's whatever.
Yeah, it was it was the last thing they did before Quake, I think.
Wow, that late. That's crazy. Why? I mean, we're getting a little bit off topic, but it's so strange to me that on top of everything, it's an additional episode for Doom 1, not Doom 2.
Well, the reason why it was Doom 1 is because before this, Doom 1 didn't have a package box version. So what they did was, because originally they released it through shareware, where you could get the first episode for free.
Right. Mail order.
Yeah, you mail order the rest.
Mail order, right.
So, and they had Doom 2 as a package copy that you could just buy from the store. And after that did well, they decided, okay, what if we put Alt Doom as a package together after the fact, so you can buy it all at once? They decided, and for whatever reason, I don't know if they chose to, or it was a publisher mandate, where they said, okay, people probably don't want to get Doom 1 again, so we'll throw in a new episode just to give some incentive. And that became Ultimate Doom.
Interesting. That's really fucking cool. Okay, I never knew that.
I'm just learning this now, too. I said I'm just learning this now, too. I never really bothered to think about it like that either, so...
I like Doom.
Yeah, I can tell. It's like your name is Doom.
Yeah, it's almost as if.
I wouldn't say is, if. I had a joke there, but I lost it, so let's continue.
Yeah, let's move on.
For sure.
So we're talking about the story.
My big complaint, I feel like 2016 had really good pacing. There were only 3 very brief moments, I think, that could be considered cutscenes. Maybe 4. You have Doom in the elevator punching the elevator panel in the beginning. You had the speech with Doom and Hayden in his room. Olivia Pierce stops you once early in the game, and then you got Olivia transforming into the
Spider Mastermind.
God, the Spider Mastermind. Yeah, at the end of the game. That was it. And all of, well, except for Samuel Hayden doing his speech, that was longer, but all of those cutscenes were extremely short, barely considered cutscenes. And I think that's literally everything in 2016.
Yeah, so you have tiny
But
cutscenes.
in Doom Eternal, yeah, they're very tiny, and most of the story is more like audio logs. While Doom's walking around, Hayden's talking in his ear.
This is going to be just my preference, but I like the cutscenes in Doom Eternal. Only because it gives me the entire feel that Doom Guy literally is just this walking avatar of pure chaos. Like, he is entirely either aware or just blissfully unaware of the fact that he does nothing but just everything he touches dies. Like, period. Like, he goes back to Earth. Earth is literally lucky that it lived as long as it did. He goes to the Hell dimension. He fucks all that shit up. He goes to the Heaven dimension, which is Urdak. He literally destroys Urdak. He destroys the planet. And like and I feel like this is one of the he's literally like a less I need to stop saying literally, like, cuz it's not true. It's as if he's a lesser version of Kratos sometimes. It's like everything I see Doom Guy touch or get involved in ends badly for everyone but him.
He saved Earth.
I see that comparison.
He saved it eventually.
Saved it. I mean, okay, yes, but okay, yeah, I'll give you that. He did save Earth, but after he let like the entire group of he let the little icon of sin just kind of go around there and do its little thing, and then after all that, but I doubt there are very many humans left. Yeah,
completely fuck up the city.
No, that city was fucked. It didn't matter if the icons
I hate to break it
showed
to you,
up
man,
or
but the
not.
whole planet's kind of fucked.
Not true. Australia is fine.
I was gonna say that. If you look at the map, Australia's the only one that's untouched. I don't know what's up with that.
Because the Hellspawn went there and they were just like, ugh, this is worse than us.
So that's an entire island
They have
nation.
scorpions that size?
I mean, either that or the Hellspawn literally can't swim, which would be funny.
What if that was the lore explanation? Is they just couldn't swim?
like a cat, like a cloud of cacodemons just floating towards, and then they just like they just look at them and then they just start shooting at them.
Oh man, that's pretty fucking funny. I do like that. That's a headcanon I can get behind.
And one of the things, like, just responding to your stance on Doom Guy, I agree. Like, everything about Doom Guy is well done in this game. Like, he's funny without saying a word. Well, he does talk, but that's a flashback. You know, so whatever. Yeah, and he only quotes the fucking comic.
The fact that I like how they essentially portrayed Doom Guy off as a character with actual brain damage, somehow managing to cope in this world. Like,
I can kind of see that. Like he's so tunnel visioned.
Like,
he can't think of anything else.
He emotionally and mentally, he cannot move past rip and tear. He can't do it.
I mean,
yeah.
Okay, I hate to say it, but there's a word that we have for that. It's called autism.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't want to be the one to say it though. He's a
Doom
little
Guy and I have something in common.
Demon killing savant.
Could I become Doom Guy in real life? We're the same breed.
So, I do like the story itself quite a bit. I don't like the main point I'm getting is that I don't like how often it interrupts the gameplay. And it's just, now we gotta sit here and watch a 3-5 minute cutscene.
Well, I mean,
yeah,
I really liked how 2016 did it, where it barely ever.
You're a fan of just let them talk while you walk around the room and do shit.
Kind of. Like, I don't like how Half-Life does it. Half-Life does it even worse, where you're not allowed to leave the room until they finish fucking talking.
I remember what you're talking about,
worse.
especially because in Doom 2016, they did the same thing when you went to go meet Samuel Hayden.
Yeah, but that was the only time. And that was like the only real cutscene.
And I have an explanation for why they did that. Like,
because we would kill him. I would have killed him. I would have shot Samuel Hayden.
Well, of course, yeah.
You could shoot Hayden.
Of
you
course.
know you can shoot Hayden, right?
I mean...
And there's a voice line that he has in 2016 if you shoot him.
What?
What
does he say? Like, it's ineffective.
It doesn't
or
hurt him,
something?
and he just says, save your ammo.
I'm Dr. Samuel Hayden. I have supplies in my office. This way, please. Save your ammunition.
But at least with Hayden's presentation in the first game, like, yeah, those two cutscenes were the interruptions, but there was a deliberate reason, at least in my opinion, why they did that. They wanted to make you dislike Hayden the way Doom Guy disliked Hayden. And how do you make the player dislike him? Make him the one thing in the game that
taking away
you.
control.
Yeah.
That's good. I like
which is
that.
Funny because
that's really
in Doom
good.
Eternal,
Dude.
they kind of make it so Hayden was the one who, gave you the powers. And then he's also...
Okay, so I have a theory on that.
Are you going to say that, the whole thing
what do you
with,
have to say about that?
I don't want to rain on your parade, but I think it's the same thing that you and I might have. The whole quote about Hayden saying, here, take this, it's a gift. It'll give you strength. And then he also says...
That wasn't what I was going to say.
Okay, I was just curious, because that voice line, he uses it both in Doom 2016.
Yeah, in 2016, when he gives you the Argent power-up, and Eternal, when he powers up Doom Guy in the flashback.
That got me a little moist when I remembered that.
Yeah, he's the Seraphim. It's fucking confirmed. I think my theory is, I'm wondering how much of Eternal was made up on the spot because of 2016. They didn't know where to go after it. And Eternal, they just read shit online and said, oh, fans think he's the original Doom Guy? Fucking, there it is. There's our plot.
To be fair, I think they would have made that. I think they would have made it that way anyway. Because, whenever they made it, he was just some dude who got sealed in a coffin. I think they left it open-ended just in case they wanted to. It was so
vague. Yeah, I think they intentionally left it as vague as possible so that when they gave the answer, it would just be whatever the fans decided if it got a sequel. Because I don't think they ever knew they were going to make a sequel.
Oh, yeah. I think I think Doom 2016 was a shot in the dark, and it just happened to hit the target.
Absolutely, yeah. And I agree with both of you saying for sure. Doom saying that they kind of threw Eternal Story together, kind of at the last minute. But the point is they weren't really planning it.
Yeah, I don't think this
from
was
the
planned.
beginning.
I mean, you can tell that it wasn't planned because they brought the icon of sin back, of all things. The one thing we never... I mean, they could have made a better end boss than the icon of sin. And I know they could have made it.
Oh, we'll talk about the boss fights. When we get to gameplay, we'll talk about the fucking boss fights. I have opinions on these.
Fights.
Yeah, same here.
But
I also heavily agree that... I was going to say, I heavily agree that Aiden saying that Doom 2016 was just a shot in the dark. They were doing what they wanted to do, and it just fucking worked. And it worked so well.
Yeah. But I think the number one thing I like about the presentation of Doom 2016's story better is that the whole gimmick of why 2016's story worked is the main character didn't care about the story. That was the gimmick. That was the joke. And that's why it was kind of entertaining to have Doom Guy as the protagonist. In Eternal, the game almost expects you to care more. There's more of a prominence to the story. It takes more of a center stage. But so the entire gimmick of Doom Guy be just completely driven on kill the monster, shoot it in its face. It kind of just goes out the window because now he's some noble knight avenging a society. He's fucking bowing to somebody.
I mean, I get what you're saying, for sure. But I wouldn't go so far as to say that Doom Guy didn't care about the story in 2016, so to speak. If anything, Hayden acted as a direct antagonist, saying things like, you can't destroy the Argent energy. We need this. And Doom Guy's like, no, my objective is to kill all the demons. I don't care what you have to say about this. like this
He
is what I
literally
have
said,
to do.
"Fuck you, I'm doing
like that.
what I
That
have
was
to
his
do."
motivation.
Which is funny because
Well,
he's
there's another-
exactly
Yeah,
the same
yeah.
as
it
Hayden.
wasn't.
Because he says Doomguy is basically just
Yeah.
like, I'm destroying
Yeah,
the
pretty
demons.
much.
I don't care what you think. This is the right thing. Hayden's like, I'm getting ardent energy to the humans. I don't care what you think. This is the right thing. Which is just like, I just enjoy how they're essentially
Yeah.
two sides of the same coin of just sheer stubbornness.
Which is true.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, and that's a big part of why I liked both characters so much. They play off each other really
Which
well.
we're gonna get to. Like one of the things I want to say why I don't like Eternal's story as much is actually just what you said about Hayden and Doomguy being really entertaining playing off of each other. Hayden's barely in this game, and he's the only character in the story with decent development. I don't give a shit about anybody else, really. I like Doomguy and I like Hayden.
No, Hayden's like,
Why would you not have them
I
on
like
screen?
Hayden
100%
a lot,
agree.
but mainly because of the fact that he's like the ultimate good wrapped up in a cloak of why are you doing it this way, and you can tell that it's just arrogance. Like that's what it feels like. It's just like it's not. His intentions are good, but he's a very arrogant person.
Well, it's that meme. It's like, oh, this is what makes a good villain.
Yeah.
Is
As much as I hate
when
him, but
The motivation
what's
is
the
better,
term they
arguably
use?
better than the hero
Well,
themselves.
yeah,
or something.
a villain with good
Right.
intentions, but goes about them in the wrong way.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes Hayden.
He's a rival.
maybe
now.
not so much an interesting or well written character, but he's enjoyable.
He's
if
an
anything else,
enjoyable
that makes him enjoyable.
And I think that's my biggest problem is that
exactly.
only Hayden and Doomguy are the enjoyable characters. Like Vega's kind of just well, he's gone
Vega
now.
was a good boy, and we killed him.
Yeah.
Killed our good boy.
Well,
We saved.
he's not. He's like God, and he's pissed off now.
we killed good boy, and we made him God.
He's fucking mad.
I just enjoyed Vega for his voice, but as a character, obviously he wasn't really much. He wasn't really there. They tried to really push the con maker, obviously, but she didn't really come off as much
She was-
of a character. She was just a.
Yeah,
she
what was
just an
that? What was that?
objective.
Someone called her. She's exposition fodder. That's all she was. She was just.
Yeah.
Oh,
She
yeah.
was just
Oh,
there to
100%.
serve as a reason for the Doom guy to go about his day.
Which
Exactly.
sucks because
Absolutely,
like why
yeah.
couldn't we have Hayden on
Like,
screen more? 'Cause
Hayden
he's the far
should
more
have been
entertaining
the
voice.
villain. He should have been the villain. He would have been like I like whenever I was getting ready to play Doom, I didn't read any of it up, anything, and I was just like, man, I can't wait to see Hayden sitting up atop his tower, filled with demons or like surrounded by demons, and still trying to preach the fact that ardent energy is good. That's what I wanted. I wanted Hayden to sit up there upon his shattered, broken throne of a planet saying, I know this is bad, but I'm telling you, it'll get better. Just because that was the Hayden.
I was in a
That's
similar.
the Hayden that I wanted. Not like
Oh,
I
go ahead.
like the juiciness that he was the seraphim and he was the one to do that, but I would have enjoyed Hayden more as a direct direct rival to Doomguy. Not necessarily an antagonist, but someone who was in the way of Doomguy's progression. Like
Well, that is an antagonist.
Absolutely, someone who was trying to
Yeah.
someone who was trying to stop Doomguy's
Well, yeah,
mission.
that's
not as a direct opponent, but
that is an
yeah,
antagonist.
Someone
an
Doomguy had to
antagonist,
get
but
past.
yeah, you're right. The word was antagonist,
Not a villain.
Yeah, that's what it was.
But like I think
yeah, I
like,
don't know. It's a shame.
But since we all agree, like
Go ahead.
Hayden's clearly Hayden and Doomguy are the more interesting double act as characters. I think that's my biggest problem with Eternal having more of a story focus than 2016 is that no other character is interesting. This is a story without any real compelling characters.
I still don't remember the hell.
No one
priest's name.
develops.
I think one was called Dag.
I don't know them.
Dag or something like that.
I don't give a fuck.
Like all I know is I killed them, and like that's the thing. Like, who cares? I killed them, and that's the issue with that's the issue
Not-
with having characters in Doom, is because it's just going to end up one of two ways. either they're gonna be saved by you and like do like the crazy chick who was just absolutely wet for Doom Guy, just fucking dripping waterfalls and made a damn cult around him, or you're just gonna be dead. Like there's no like in between. It's like, okay, yeah, Doom's cool, Doom Guy's cool. There's no.
I suppose, but it's like you could have made more interesting villains because they tried to do that with the Con Maker. They go on and on in the final mission in the City of the Damned, where it's Hayden's telling you about how she needs to do this for her society, but we don't know hardly fuck all about Urdak as a society.
See, that's the thing, though.
I was really disappointed about that actually, because we get to Urdak and I'm like, oh, we're gonna see more about this new alien race. It's like, no. She's the only one, and even all of those the Maker drones, I assume they're robots.
Yeah, they're all brain
I don't
dead.
even,
Okay, so
they have little.
They're all like they're there. So I don't think they're robots. I think what they are is like aliens inside of like encased in a robot body.
I think like in the lore it says they're all hive mind, and like the Con Maker's the one in charge of them.
Is it?
Interesting. Okay,
But
I can see that then.
But then-
because they do have little tentacles underneath their bodies. But regardless, they don't have character. They might as well be mindless robots.
Well,
they don't
I think
do
that's
anything.
I think that's the play of
Like,
Utopia. Like they're saying that Urdak was Utopia because only one person was making the choices for the greater good. Everyone.
which I suppose, but if the story is going to be more in my face, I would like that more in my face.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but
I heavily agree. If they're going with that, and I do like that interpretation, but if they're going with that, they need to push it harder. I want to see an Urdak city. I want to see a bunch of drones doing the same
I want
exact
to see
thing together
Urdak
in a
burning
fucking
to the
assembly
ground.
line or
I
something.
want them to be. I want to go there. I want to
Sure.
be the guy who's like, you know what? I'm the motherfucking Doom Guy. I'm gonna save this place too, because
Yeah.
fuck demons.
But then
fucking dude, like they could have done something with that, but probably like Urdak's out of the story for now. And you know, when we get the next Doom game,
like, well, the problem with that
when
too.
we get the next Doom game, Urdak's just not going to be mentioned.
Oh, of course not.
It's like if
But,
you get
like, the
killed
problem
by
I'm
the Doom
seeing,
Guy, you're
you know?
doomed to a life of irrelevancy. Like you're just cast into the plot void. Like you're gone. We don't remember you in the next
Yeah.
one. Like the phrase, "Oh, they're not going to be in Doom 3" has never played in more into play here.
But like,
What were you going to say?
I was saying, like, my problem
Doomed earlier?
is that like they're trying, like, in that last bit up to the City of the Damned, Hayden's going on and on about, oh, she needs to build resources for her city, whatever, or she needs it for her people or they'll die. So they're trying to build like moral ambiguity around what Doom Guy's doing because they
Right.
both have the same goal, but they're only doing that at the last minute, and it doesn't go anything beyond a throwaway line from Hayden.
Yeah, I give you that.
What's another game that did that put all the story at the very end?
Let's not talk about it. I don't want to be angry.
Or we could just
Oh,
use
man.
the word Death Stranding.
Oh,
That-
no.
The curse of Dave.
You'll never escape
Oh,
it.
man.
It's your beach.
Yeah. Death Stranding can fuck off. So let's move on to the gameplay. What do we like? What do we don't like about the gameplay?
I like
that it's the same, but
I
more.
love the super shotgun meat hook. Oh Lord Jesus in
Holy
heaven.
shit.
What a great idea.
What a good addition. God damn. I would have never fucking thought of that. I would have been just like, oh, just regular super
No.
shotgun.
It's
That's
like,
all I
no.
want.
Fucking
Nah.
let me
Meat hook was
just
fucking
zip on
brilliant.
over to you. Especially if you combined it with the slow-mo in the air perk. Oh my god, it was just so like I love looking
Oh,
at their
man.
faces. Oh,
That
it's
must
it's
be
like
really good.
you're there for every moment of it, and it's just like I'm just gonna zip on over to you.
So I never used the slow-mo perk. But holy shit, that sounds really fucking good.
Like if the one I use for that is the mobility in the air. So instead of just using it as a
Yeah,
hook
you can
to
just, like,
draw
use it to
yourself forward,
reposition
you
yourself.
can just circle
Yeah.
around. You can just circle around them like
No,
a
you
fucking
can.
cowboy.
You can. It's actually pretty damn good. It's pretty like the meat hook. I was hoping so badly, so much, that I could actually just walk up to one of those grippable walls and just say, please let the meat hook me onto this. Please be a grappling hook. Like,
I think that would have been a good idea. It's kind of a shame that they didn't go further with it. I think they really should have had the shotgun meat hook act as an environmental
what they should have done
grapple
is
hook.
they should have just said, hey guys, listen, I know we're getting rid of the pistol, but you know what we also should get rid of? The regular shotgun. And let's just make the super shotgun the main gun. Which would have...
No, dude, the regular shotgun is
no, I like it.
phenomenal
No,
in this
I
game.
like it. But I'm saying, though, that with the grappling hook, the super shotgun would have been better. If they made the meat hook a grappling hook instead, so then you can just, like, use it to, like, move yourself around the arena. I'm just saying, it would have been an interesting replacement for the dashes.
I wouldn't say replacement,
Yeah,
but I
an
will
addition.
say an addition. I think it should have. They should have put that along
they
with
could have
the dashes.
Continue, sorry.
Maybe it would have been two. Maybe it would have been overpowered, 2 dashes and the grapple hook. But I think 1 dash plus grapple hook would have been more interesting.
Can you really
than 2
use the
dashes.
term overpowered in this game, though? Like,
Maybe,
You can
but it
if
would
you
be
know how to
difficult
cheese
to. I mean,
certain enemies.
yeah, like
exactly. Yeah,
the Marauder is a
like
joke.
Marauder.
The Marauder
We'll
was
get
a
onto that.
joke.
You know, he was really
we'll get onto
frustrating until I learned that I could just fucking stun lock him to
Yeah.
death.
Yeah,
You want to know the best part?
which I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough at, but I've seen that shit online, and it's like how to delete Marauder.
Yeah.
It's, like, it's true.
Here's the thing,
it's fucking
Dave,
ridiculous.
is you're actually in a better position than the rest of us to do that because you're playing on console. So you can use the slow motion on the weapon wheel to just instantly snap back into it. So you can just completely negate his entire animation.
Yeah, it's actually kind of funny.
Now, I tried doing that, and maybe it's just me, but I feel like the slow-mo for the weapon wheel doesn't activate right away. It takes a second. If you wait for it to activate, you're not going to get it in time.
Serious?
You have to actually fucking switch it faster than the slow-mo kicks in.
Is there a
if
last
you're gonna
weapon
stun
button
lock him.
on the console?
Yeah, it's triangle.
There is that.
Where-
There is
where it's
that.
like
So that's what
a
you would do,
button
and that's
where you
fine.
can just like hit it and switch to your last used weapon. So you can have 2 on Switch, like a hotkey
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, that's what you would do. You see Marauder, you set yourself up so like, all right, ballista and then shotgun, and there you go. That's my 2 weapons. Now I just gotta tap the button to switch between them.
I just shot him with my gun and just dodged him because he's really easy to dodge because everything he does is telegraphed. Like, beyond, like, what? So every time I
Yeah.
saw him do something, I'm like, okay, he's going to use his axe, dash. Okay, he's going to shotgun, dash.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, except for the shotgun, I take that back. The shotgun's hit scan, which I don't agree with.
Okay, my problem with the Marauder
So
is that if you fight
Go
him
ahead.
legit, yeah, very sorry, but if you fight him,
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, if you fight him legit, like you're intended to, which is always go for the parry, wait for it, yada yada yada. That's the most frustrating fight in the game because he's constantly like using his version of the dash, which is basically a fucking teleport, where he can constantly move in and out of his ideal position, quote unquote. And his ideal position, if he's too far, is the distance. The best way to put it is the ideal position to get the parry and to consistently do that is inconsistent because he's constantly moving around. So if you're too close to him, he'll use the hit scan shotgun. You go too far away, fuck you, unleash the dog.
Yeah,
But then
I'm 100% with you. It's stupid the way they implemented him, and they try to, because we'll get to the tutorials, but it's like they try to be so smart with the tutorial pop up and be like, oh, you have to be mid range. Don't be too close. Don't be too far. It's like I could never fucking figure out where mid range is. I could never get it. It's like I
yeah,
don't know.
and
It was just lucky.
once I
It
learned,
was just lucky if he fucking flashes green or
yeah,
not.
it's like once I just learned that he was really vulnerable to the weapon swapping shit, I just said, fuck it, just stun lock him to death. And now he's a joke. Now that enemy is just a complete nuisance.
Yeah, that's my biggest. Well, so for me, when I fight against him, I don't necessarily do the stun lock. What I do is I fire a rocket launcher behind him, and then I use remote detonate. And as long as there's or a grenade works.
Yeah,
as
shotgun
well.
grenade.
As long as there's as long as there's a explosion next or behind him, that'll hit him. Then I quickly switch to super shotgun. I get him once like that. Then I repeat, and it works well enough. The problem is that Marauder is very fast, very aggressive. He's constantly on your ass. Far more than any other enemy, he demands your attention, and he doesn't let go. You are forced to deal with him before anyone else. And I feel like he has a little too much health for an enemy like that. And he's just very annoying and very obnoxious to deal with.
You guys want to know my method? I just saved the
What do you
BFG
do?
and shot him with it.
Yeah, I honestly, that's what it started becoming for fucking me. I'm like, you know what, Marauder, BFG,
I didn't use the
don't even
BFG
fucking
at
care
all.
anymore.
Like, that's the
Get
thing.
out of my life.
I don't think I ever used the BFG in like the actual like arena fights because I have fun zipping around and shooting at things. Like that was fun to me. So I was just like, why would I want to take this away with the BFG? So I just honestly, just every time I got in a Marauder fight, I'm just like, BFG.
Yeah. And I mean, I was the same exact way with 2016. I never used a BFG once. After a while, I forgot I even had it. It was a similar case with Eternal for a bit, but Marauder just really got on my fucking nerves. And I'm like, you know what? I'm allowed to do this to skip fights. Just get the fuck out of here.
Panic button.
I don't want to deal with you.
Well, see, that's
really,
the thing for me. It didn't even...
Yeah, if you're
like,
worried you're
it
about to
didn't even
lose.
become a panic button for me. It was more of like, I would rather lose now than I would have to watch this dude dance around me. Like, it just...
And start...
Yeah, just
start
I'm
the
just
fight
gonna
over
shoot him
again.
with the BFG, and then I'll get I'll get the next energy cell on like the next area, and I'll be fine.
We'll get around to this later, of course, but the only time that I aggressively used a BFG was for the final boss.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they designed that boss specifically that you're supposed to use either BFG or Unmaker, your choice. And I figured BFG is better because you shoot it once. Turret mode for what? The chain gun?
Use turret mode, and then you turret mode.
The Unmaker is the best option, bar none, for the fucking icon.
Or actually, I found out that the max
embarrassing.
upgraded ballista with the actual like the harpoon, not the wave. It actually takes out chunks of his health, like literal chunks.
No, yeah, I think the ammo per shot efficiency, the harpoon ballista has to be the strongest weapon in the game.
Oh yeah,
by
easy.
far.
It's literally just one bullet, one shot.
Yeah, I mean, just don't.
How do you miss the icon ascent?
I mean, well, no, obviously.
See, I say that though.
But I think we'll get to that more later. We'll get to each of the bosses in a bit.
Yeah.
Something I'm curious about asking, and I think this is what everyone has the biggest problem with. Doom Eternal is way more fucking difficult, but the main question is why? I would argue it's because your ammo capacity is so much lower than it is in 2016. You are forced to constantly use the chainsaw. And I like that a lot because it demands more from the player.
Moving.
It forces them to... It keeps you moving. It forces you to vary your weapons. It forces you to use your grenades more often. Your grenades are there for a reason.
Broken.
You have to fucking use them.
Cryo is broken.
It's good.
The ice bomb is fucking busted.
Duke Nukem 3D
but
beat the fuck out.
Again, well, we didn't get a shrink ray in this.
Whatever. We'll get in Doom 3.
Maybe the next one. But I like these aspects of Doom Eternal a lot, and I think they pulled it off fairly well. My my complaint is sometimes it's not 100% clear who you're allowed to use the chainsaw on. I don't think you can use a chainsaw on the carcass, which I find extremely strange. The carcass being
heavy.
the guy who...
No, you can use it, but you have to have 3 charges.
Real damn, dude. I was gonna say, like, I swear I've done it before.
3 charges.
So it is... I didn't know it requires multiple charges to
Yeah,
do it.
some require more.
Okay, so here's the thing. The thing is, though, is that there's no such thing as a 2-charge chainsaw. So you require either 1 charge or 3. And if it's a fodder, like if it's just a regular Marine or an imp or
a zombie,
any kind of zombie thing, that's 1. If it's anything else, it's 3, except for bosses and
well, it probably doesn't work on Marauder, Doom Hunter.
It does not work on Marauder.
Except for special enemies. So Marauder is a special enemy, Doom Hunter is a special enemy, and then bosses. What?
Yeah, of course. Like,
the best way to explain it would be you can't chainsaw either mini bosses or bosses.
Right.
Which, just going back to Marauder for a second, for saying what we can't use things on, fuck not being able to use the Crucible on the Marauder.
Dude, I love that.
Fuck you.
I love
that is
how
the
he
exact
blocks
enemy. I hate that. Fuck you.
But see, that's the thing, though. I wish instead of just saying you can't use this, I wish that they would punish you for it in the sense that they would parry it. Like,
if he parried it, that would be awesome.
Just imagine how cool it would look if you went to go, like, let's say, chainsaw the gladiator. He just fucking grabs it and then just throws you.
Yeah, that'll be fucking cool. Do something neat with it, as opposed to just,
you
it
go
doesn't
to chainsaw
work.
The Marauder. He just fucking blocks it with his shield, or he stops the blades with his axe, or something like that. The handle of his axe.
Yeah, like something.
Or like he would, or even better for the Marauder, since he's so nimble, he could just sidestep it and then punch you in the face. Or bash you with the shield.
That'd be kind of cool. Sure.
They should have done something else.
But I don't like that you're
insufficient fuel.
No.
Or cannot find target.
Yeah. Yeah, no target is what it says. And it just looks like you swing at the air and nothing happens in front of you. It's kind of dumb.
They should have punished me for. See, that's the thing though. If they wanted it to be fun, that would be fun. Punish me for trying to take an easy way out that I know isn't gonna work.
I think that's a cool idea. I do like that. And I find it really silly that the Crucible works without even trying against the fucking... I was just saying, like, I find it ridiculous that it works without even trying against the fucking Cyber Demon of all things.
One hit.
But I do like how he cuts him down like a tree, though. That's pretty good.
Oh, it's fucking
2,
great.
3.
You're like, 1, 2, 3.
Get out of here.
It's fucking awesome. But it's absurd that it works on Cyber Demon without even trying. Like, I see the Crucible as the delete Cyber Demon button.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to deal with this guy. He's too strong. Get out of here. But Marauder? Oh, I'm so sorry.
Well, see, that's the thing that I don't like is that, like, but except for the Cyber Demon, it's not that. The fact that the Crucible works on a Baron of Hell and it doesn't work on the Doom, like the Marauder, it just baffles me. Like, what I think they should have done, I wouldn't even let them do QTEs. Let me fucking sword fight that guy.
Do something. You could have been really creative with it. They could have done
that
something.
Entire enemy is just so poorly implemented, and I cannot have my mind changed on it.
Like, he's good. Like, okay, so the Marauder is good as one of 2 things, or I guess 3 things. End boss, end of the level boss, mini boss. A gatekeeper, keeping you out of an area, like a guardian. Or a way to change the pacing. Like, let's say that you finish an entire group of people, an entire group of monsters. You're down to, you're down to.
And he's the one at the end.
Brass, like you're down to the very You're down to your nubs and like the pencil lead and all that crap. Some you don't. You're out of ammo, and you have to fight the Marauder at the end. Now that would be interesting, but they can't have like that stupid crap with the imps and they're pelting me with fucking fireballs while I try and fight the Marauder. Like, let me.
But they have to.
Yeah.
They have to have that because they'll replenish your ammo in
and
case
see, like,
you
here's
run
the
out.
thing though. Give me
Which is
one
unfortunate.
chance to replace my ammo. If I miss over 20 shots against the Marauder, I need to die. You need to just kill me and let me learn from the mistake instead of just giving me infinite retries. Like, see,
But what if you spawn with one of your 20 extra lives that you never use? Then you're in an infinite death trap of no ammo.
I picked up like an extra life like here and there, but every time it popped, I'm just gonna restart and get my life back.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of strange the extra life system. I collected everyone I could find
I feel like
just
the
for the
extra
sake of
life
completion.
thing was just a
but-
little thing for the people who want to try on Ultra Nightmare. I think that's the only reason that exists.
Probably.
I think so, yeah.
Honestly,
Well, the extra lives work
I believe so.
on Ultra Nightmare, right?
I don't know. I haven't played Ultra Nightmare yet.
But I do see that extra lives are seen as a little mulligan,
Holy shit!
a little gimme.
That rocket hit me
Give
from
me a-
across the map, and now I am dead.
Yeah, no more like Doom
Hey,
2016
give me
bullshit
one little
of
chance.
getting one-shotted by imps and the security soldiers like you did in 2016.
Yeah, but see now the issue with that is that our good pal the Archvile exists in Ultra Nightmare.
Yeah, you know what?
Man,
With
you
his
know
hit
what?
scan
Crucible,
fire.
motherfucker. Crucible, motherfucker.
Yeah, but here's the thing though.
He's gone.
Do you get the Crucible
Yeah.
before you meet the first Archvile?
I know what you do get before you meet
I'm
the
not
first
sure.
Archvile, the fucking BFG.
Yeah, but do you know that the BFG? I think it only stuns the Archvile.
No, if you direct hit an Archvile as an
But see, that's
instinct,
the problem though. How the fuck am I gonna get close enough to it?
you run around the map and you go behind him and you shoot him
with
in the
all
butt.
the other buffed enemies running around me.
Yes. I should run away. Run away, Joseph.
Also,
Joestar.
Buff Totem, dumb idea. Same thing that GG Man Live said. Stupid idea.
Yeah.
Why?
Agreed.
Why?
Yeah, agreed. And I was just about to bring that up. What do you feel about Buff Totem?
They're
Like,
dumb.
it's just extending a fight more than it needs to be extended. Like, I like the quick, fast,
feel
heavy
like-
action. I don't like the slog. That's the thing that I hate, and that's the thing that Doom Eternal kind of does sometimes. It puts you through a slog, like the war of attrition.
100% agree. Yeah.
I hope you guys like
2016
infinitely spawn
never
new enemies.
had that.
Like I would rather have
Fuck,
have
man.
and to allude back to Doom 2016, I would rather have harder enemies than I would have the feel like, man, I just don't have fucking anything in terms of ammo. Like every time I opened up my weapon wheel to go look at the ammo, I'm just like, oh, well, I guess I'm starting the next fight with a chainsaw.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I honestly like that to me is the big thing with Doom Eternal, where I go back and forth to 2016, where I like the actual gameplay, gunplay of Doom Eternal better than 2016, but I like a lot of the balancing stuff with two major exceptions. I like a lot of the encounter balancing in Doom 2016 better, specifically with the arenas and everything.
Yeah, but keep in mind, if you go back to 2016, you're also getting rid of the jump pads.
I love
You're
the
getting
jump
rid of the
pads.
dashing. You're getting rid of so many.
Yeah, and
you're
that's
getting
the
rid
thing.
of so many options. It's difficult to go back to 2016. I think 2016 did a lot of things better. I'm not necessarily against the Archvile, but he can't be fucking spawning enemies. That shit
Not only
really
spawning,
gets on my fucking
but
nerves.
buffing.
Well,
Buff spawn.
here's the thing. I
It's
know
like,
what
if you stop him, if you stop them from spawning, you kill them immediately.
It's like,
no,
please,
fuck you.
please.
That's not how it works.
It's like, please stop. I can't see anything. Every time they hit me, my screen shakes. Please help.
Turn that off.
Yes.
I turned that shit off
Oh, I
before
did
I
too.
started,
I did
man.
too. Like, it happened. I'm just like, okay, guys, listen. There's too many bright lights going on here. If I had epilepsy, you would have taken me out from the start of the game.
Oh man.
But like the thing is, in comparison though, with the balancing where Eternal gets it much better, is weapon and perk balancing. Because 2016 was so easy to break.
You took my favorite infinite ammo perk away from me. The Rich Get Richer was the best
fucking good
thing about Doom Eternal. About Doom 2016.
Oh, no, here's the thing. You're right that it's great, and it's so good it actually is a problem. Because the Rich Get Richer, you get the Gauss Cannon with the Siege mode, and you beat the game.
Gauss
Congratulations.
Cannon? What are you talking about, man? I got the fucking minigun.
The Gauss Cannon is the most busted gun in the entire Doom series. Changed my mind.
But that's the thing, though. The thing that I liked about Doom 2016 and the Rich Get Richer was you just bust out the minigun, and then you're just like, I'm just having fun chewing through enemies. Like, you literally just chewed through demons like hamburger meat.
I know, but like that's why I like Doom Eternals better, because it demands more of you. There's no one gun in the game where I would say it breaks the game. No one gun is good enough to break the game. And a lot of that boils down to the lowered ammo count, where it's like, it's almost, I think especially with the shotgun, like it's a little more than a third of what it used to be. So you have to fucking work now. You actually have to use
I actually know the best way to... So if you want to not have any trouble in the game and you just want to only... Okay, so remember how I told you guys about the meat hook slow-mo combo? So here's what your boy Wiggle did. Every single time I would go in to meat hook someone, I would go in real slow, and then just before I got to them, I'd chainsaw. So I would always have ammunition, and the meat hook was my get out of jail free card, and it was cheesier. I've gotten out of situations that I should have been punished for with the meat hook by just saying like, "Oh, there's a demon all the way over there, meat hook it."
You just get completely out of the little corner that you're in.
Chainsaw.
Go to the other side of the map, and
then
fucking ammo too.
Or I would use the fist, and then I would just get health. Yeah, the blood fist, and I'm just like, man,
blood fist, yeah.
I'm not being punished at all. Like, see, the thing is though, is that I understand why they got rid of things like the Rich Get Richer, but there are easier ways to cheese the game than they think. And if you're gonna have one way of cheese, you need to just go ahead and give us the rest of it, because
I don't agree with that at all, because even with the way you're describing, you still have to interact with the game's mechanics more. You have to understand the game's mechanics more to get to the point where you know how to more effectively use the meat hook, which can still take damage if you're using it. So on Nightmare, you can get one-shotted with that thing.
I mean, yeah.
But you have to understand the game, and like with the consumption of the chainsaw fuel, like you're talking earlier, you have to understand that more than sit in a corner, Rich Get Richer, triple barrel turret, fucking go to town.
But see, here's the thing though. Would the Rich Get Richer even work in this game, where you're getting hit every 10 seconds? Like, I can honestly tell you, I don't think I kept armor at all. Like, I don't remember at any point in the game where I would look at my character and say, hey, I have 50 armor. Hey, I have 40 armor. I think in the middle of every fight, I lost all of my armor. Every single fight.
Well, how you replenish it is... here's how I do it.
Fire.
Just use the flame thing on the most bitch baby enemies ever, because they're infinitely spawning. They're infinite sources.
Did you guys know that...
You use one...
Did you guys know that the fire meat hook gives you more armor?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and that's a really good strategy, is if you need armor, use the meat hook on a weak enemy, and as you get into him, just shotgun him in the face, and you just get a bunch of armor.
That's partially what I do. Another thing I do is I use the flame, use like the Predator flamethrower, and I use the flame belch.
I never use the flame
and I use
belch.
the single barrel shotgun on like a weak enemy. get a glory kill, now it explodes into health and armor. Boom, I'm back. I'm ready to go.
Yeah. No, and that's what I do as well. When I'm at my wit's end, I'm close to death. You gotta get an enemy to glory kill state, use flame belch on him, and then glory kill him, and you get fucking like 75 health, 20 or 30 armor.
my
instantly.
Like I mentioned, how you mentioned before that the BFG was the panic button. I don't think the BFG was the panic button this game. I think the chrono
the
bomb.
flame belch was.
Yeah, the
chrono
chrono strike
the chrono
was
strike.
the ultimate panic button because all you had to do was chrono bomb, and then blood fist.
Yeah.
That was it.
I mean, even the cyber demon
for me,
can get frozen.
See, that's the thing though. Like, everyone can get frozen except for the mini bosses and bosses. Nope.
You can't freeze the Doom Hunter?
You can't. I tried.
Maybe not.
You can slow him. You can't freeze him.
Which, admittedly, I like Doom Hunter a lot, so I'm kind of fine with that.
I think
Doom Hunter
is fantastic.
Just because the things he says.
Yeah.
Best enemy in the game. Of the new enemies,
critically
he's the best
damaged. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not against Whiplash. I think Whiplash is a little annoying, but it's fine. Overall, Doom Hunter, and also I think Carcass is interesting. The way that he'll put up walls to block you. He always seems to manage to do it at the worst fucking times.
I love that.
But that's not a bad thing.
I love how he does that.
He's just a really strong character. Yeah, it's like you're aiming your rocket launcher down the hall. You're like, I'm going to fucking get this guy. And then a wall just appears right in front of you, right when you're going to shoot. It's like, fuck, man, how does he know?
They know how to make you prioritize the enemy. I have never gone after like an enemy in a game with such fervor than I have a Carcass. Like, the moment that I see that little blue shield pop up, I'm like,
I agree.
Where are you?
Like, that's the best part of that fucking
pretty
enemy.
fucking good,
and,
yeah.
Like, I can't believe I've said this, because one of the things that I love about Doom 2 is, and other people have said this and I agree with them, Doom 2 has the single greatest enemy roster in a video game, period. Just based on the longevity of how many new scenarios people have come up to mix and match the enemies of Doom 2 into new campaigns and maps and shit. And I think Eternal Reach...
Aside from Archvile, what else did they... Pain Elemental as well.
Archvile, Pain Elemental, what the fuck is it? Revenant.
Revenant's Doom 2.
Revenant was Doom 2. Cyber Demon as enemy. Spider Mastermind as enemy. The Arachnotron.
Damn, though.
And Super Shotgun.
The Arachnotron. Ugh.
Those were the additions. And Mancubus.
Yeah, Arachnotron.
And Mancubus was added to Doom 2.
The Arachnotron is in Doom Eternal. It's so goofy and it's so damn cute. Like, it just shows up and he's...
I find it funny how many there are.
I just see it, I'm just like, you're so cute. And then I blow up its turret and it's just like, no!
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, fuck. I'll tell you one thing.
Yeah, what I was saying about...
Doom 2 added the machine gun guy as well.
Scan.
That guy can kind of fuck off.
I'm fine with him if he's used in a good way, but what the kind of point is, like, the way the Doom 2 enemy roster all complement each other is the best.
Yeah.
And I think Doom Eternal, with the exception of the Marauder, it comes the closest of at least any Western-made video game to having a complete enemy roster, where I cannot think of a single one that needs to go because of how well they complement each other in new scenarios.
I heavily agree, yeah. Like I said, like even the so you have what I call annoyance enemies, and I'd say Gargoyle is the main annoyance enemy, where he's kind of like sniping you, flying up a little bit from a distance. So a lot of games have annoyance enemies. God of War 1 called their flying enemy their annoyance enemy. But in this case, even the annoyance enemies, which is fucking Gargoyle, Carcass, Whiplash,
Pain Elemental.
I like the Pain Elemental.
I'd say Pain Elemental is more...
I love them. I love
Pain
every
Elemental is
enemy
more
except
of
for Marauder.
I'd say Pain Elemental is more of a tanky enemy that you have to use your fucking ballista on, just to like get rid of them fucking quick. But like I'd say so all three of those annoyance enemies, they still come at you in completely different ways. They're like Whiplash will fucking rush up to you, Carcass blocks you, Gargoyle is sniping you. Like, every fucking enemy just performs so differently from each other, and it's so good.
Yeah, I'd agree. Like, it's one of the things where there hasn't been at least a Western-made game, because, like, there's some other things I've played, but, like, that has an enemy roster as complete as Doom Eternal, if nothing else.
I heavily agree, yeah. With, like we said before, with the exception of
Take
Marauder.
out Marauder, the game goes up a full fucking point for me. Like,
I mean, honestly, if Marauder was the boss at the end of Arc Complex and we don't see him again for the rest of the game, I'm not necessarily against
as a
that.
boss,
What they
he's
should
fine.
have done, and see, I agree with you on that. But if they're gonna do that, they should have made him a reoccurring boss. So you beat him at the end of Arc Complex, all right? You kick his ass, and then he comes back later,
Like,
and he's got like his horns broken, his axe is damaged, his shield's cracked, things like that. Like, have him get more progressively messed up as he goes on, because he's still trying to track you down. And then,
And maybe for the second encounter, that's when he gets the his fucking fire wolf ability.
Yeah.
Something new
and
to
so
throw
like
you
he
off.
gets progressively harder.
That I
and
could
then
see that
at the
working
very
better.
end, hell, you could have made it so instead of fighting the gladiator, the most just out of no. So
It's the
instead of
stupidest
fighting the
boss. I don't
gladiator,
like him.
you could have fought the marauder, and then you could have made it so the
Yeah,
marauder
round 3.
was one of the guys from the arena that you fought in the flashback.
I think that would have
And
been
just say
more
like, my eyes have been
Essentially,
open. I once praised you as the Slayer, but now I see that you were nothing more than a mere contestant.
yeah, like,
Yeah, I think
Or
they
like-
could have done something more interesting, and I
It's
do
like-
like where you're
essentially
going with this.
just make him the
Yeah,
Virgil.
like, or not even the Virgil. Just make him.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
Someone that the Doom guy knows. It doesn't have to know him. Just make him like a person, like a previous contestant that never got out and held or like help had a form of resentment towards the Doom guy who managed to get out and achieve knighthood, which has never been happened, as they mentioned. So of course there are going to be some people who are jealous. Yeah, or just like, well,
Or
here I
butthurt.
am, still getting my ass kicked in this arena. And so they use their jealousy or their hatred towards the Doom guy in order to become a more evil version of the Doom guy. Hence the Marauder.
Well, yeah, but I'm only saying, like, say the Virgil as like the archetype of the rival character, like Jean from Bayonetta or Blue from Pokemon or fucking
Not
Jetstream
even that. Like,
Sam,
just
like
make him
that
a
kind of
pure evil.
archetype.
Just make him a guy who just wants to kick the Doom guy's ass.
Virgil is pretty fucking evil.
Virgil is stupid. That's Virgil's problem.
Evil is stupid.
Virgil is
stupid.
Evil is fucking stupid.
Virgil is literally the very essence of the word inadequate.
Virgil
Yeah, dude,
forgot
he
that
gave up
fucked
his,
the chick.
he
That
gave
was a
up
long
his
time
virginity.
ago.
That's why he'll never be as strong as Dante.
No, dude, Dante and Trish fuck. Don't
No,
even.
they
They
don't.
100% are fucking. The anime confirmed it, and the anime is
No.
canon.
It's not.
Yeah, it is. 5 made it
No,
canon.
I refuse. I refuse to accept that Sally exists.
Dante fucks Trish.
I do find it pretty fucking funny that 5 confirmed the anime.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Anime is
devious.
real. That means Dante and Trish are on again, off again, fucking.
Well, let's get off Devil May
Yeah, of
Cry.
course.
And let's get on to Devils Crying.
And,
Haha.
no. What else can we talk about with the gameplay before we move on to the why do you think What do you think they even created Gladiator when they already had Marauder? I don't get that.
Filler. But I
They needed.
Like,
I
and
do
honestly-
think that I feel like
Yeah.
I want to think. See, here's the thing that I don't understand. The Marauder exists, all right? Why do they call him the Marauder at all? I think that the Marauder was supposed to be a more significant fight. Like, I don't think you were supposed to kill them. I think that at some point someone stepped in and said, no, I want to have this person keep coming and I want there to be more of them. And so they lost a main boss, but got a reoccurring
enemy.
That's the thing that like I don't understand. Like the Marauder just doesn't fit in to the main enemy thing. Like every time you fight him, it's always like you're either supposed to cheese him like I do, or you're supposed to slow down and fight him like he's a boss or a mini boss.
Slow down and fight him while you're surrounded by a whole bunch of other enemies that are not giving you breathing room.
What doesn't make sense is that fight is done the pacing for the fight is poor. But the Doom Hunter, it fits. He fits.
Oh, Doom Hunter's fucking great.
To the normal enemy roster.
Yeah, Doom Hunter works as a boss and as an enemy.
But the Marauder only works as a boss because at no point have I ever said, man, you know what my favorite part of Dark Souls is? The one-on-one. And then you get that one. It's like it's literally like you're being ganked in like Dark Souls. It really is, because like there's the one dude that you can't handle, because he keeps dealing all the damage to you, and then there's his other fucking retard friends running around slapping and chipping away at you, and you're just like, the only reason these guys exist is for Estus. That's it.
Well, another thing.
Yeah, no, I see that. Yeah, it feels like you're getting ganked.
And that's
when this
the thing.
guy's around.
It would be better if it was a duel. I shouldn't have said what I said earlier about. I've never thought, man, I want a one-on-one. I should have said, man, I love getting ganked.
What you felt is what I wish I want was a one-on-one.
Like just let me fight the same dude. Like he comes in with a badass line about how his eyes have been opened, how you are the usurper, and then he just fucking dies like a bitch. And then they just keep fucking dying like bitches consistently throughout the game. I hate that. You took an awesome character design with an awesome idea, and then you just fucking threw it down the drain. That's one of the problems I have with Doom Eternal. Like it feels like
and it's a major problem.
Like I can look
really
past
is.
it because I can just. I'm an adult. I can look past things. That's just how it is. Like I can ignore something that if I don't like it, I can just ignore it.
Well, it's just
Hence with the
one
BFG.
problem.
Like I'm telling you, like that's why that's the whole reason. Because like I would get into the rhythm of a fight and be just like, man, I'm having fun. I'm jumping around. I'm zipping around. I'm having a blast. And then he would show up. I'm like, nah, I don't feel like slowing down. And then I'd shoot him with the BFG and I'd go about my day. And then I just start jumping around and zipping around again.
Oh yeah.
Like it was a bad idea it was poor implementation on its part, and I'm gonna give them that. That's one strike.
Yeah, but like you said, you can look past that and appreciate the rest of the game as a whole.
Because I have
and
the delete
I'm
button.
on the same page with you on that.
Yeah, and I think it's more of a testament to just how well the enemy design in this game is, where we're only complaining about one enemy of an entire roster of new enemies.
I love the pain elementals. Every time I see them, like, you guys are so darn cute with your little tiny T-Rex arms.
They're gonna get you. They're gonna they're hobbling towards you.
I really wish there was a scene of a pain elemental crawling on the ground, just like, please, must kill.
Now I've got a question that might be controversial. It'll take a bit to get there. So let's start with this. You have the combat shotgun and you have the super shotgun. If you don't if you ignore the combat shotgun's modifications, all right, like don't even think about that, just the base guns, which one are you going to choose all the fucking time?
Choose the me hook every time.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, if we had to have
let's not even
no
modifications, I would still choose the super shotgun because
combat shotgun.
I like the way it sounds.
Really? Okay, you guys are saying super shotgun? I say combat shotgun.
I admit the combat shotgun puts out more DPS throughout the fight, but the super shotgun gives me what I want, and it's called stagger. Like, the super shotgun can stagger a Baron of Hell.
Yes, it can.
Which I like.
But here's the thing. For the big enemies, I have designated things. Like, I will use with a rocket launcher. Because that to me is, okay, big problems only.
Oh, yeah, dude, the homing burst is busted. That is a...
Yeah, it's just...
homing burst needs to be fixed.
Big problems only. But...
Like, so maybe I'm going about this the wrong way. But the way I looked at the game was the only main reason that the combat shotgun is relevant is for the underbarrel grenade launcher. That you can use that against the weak points for Arachnotron and for Revenant.
And for Mancubus.
And then by the same token...
you can use it on everything. And
and Mancubus. And Mancubus as well.
Cacodemons.
Yeah, for the one shot.
Yeah, and Cacodemon. But the point is, for me, the only reason the combat shotgun exists is for specific enemy weaknesses. And then by the same token, if I'm going to choose between the heavy cannon, which is the assault rifle, either that or the chain gun, well, if I'm going to choose either of those two, I'm only ever going to use the assault rifle, not even just for sniping, because I'll use the ballista for that. But I only use the heavy assault rifle for enemy weaknesses. Again, for the plasma rifle versus ballista, I'm not going to use the plasma rifle. I have the chain gun for that. But I have to use the plasma rifle if some dickhead's coming at me with a shield. That's the only time. So the point I'm getting at is I feel like half of the weapons, the combat shotgun and the plasma rifle and the assault rifle, their primary purpose is dealing with specific weaknesses and enemy weaknesses, and I don't like that.
I'd heavily disagree.
And it's doubly annoying for me that they all share ammo with each other, and I don't like that. But you go ahead. Why do you disagree?
I strongly disagree with that because, well, for one thing, the combat shotgun is strong enough to take out the vast majority of lower tier enemies in one shot. So just for economic purposes, it's far better than super shotgun. Plus, it recovers like 3 times as fast.
But here's the thing, though: why would I want to destroy those enemies that are going to give me ammunition later?
Well, here's the thing: you can do that. Wait. Here's the thing. That's where the rifle comes in, because the rifle is the best weapon to get the glory kill stagger, because it's slower projectile based and they're strong enough individually to stagger.
Okay, I will
so
give
that's how
him
you
on
get the glory kill stagger.
I will give him that, because I did have like points in the game where I would have the super shotgun out, and I would just be like, man, I really need a stagger right now, and then I would just obliterate them. Just like, damn.
That's
so the same happened to me.
I didn't say stagger, I meant
but
glory kill.
Right. No, I know what you meant. That you just want to do enough damage to get into glory kill state without fucking blowing them away, and that happened to me often as well. So naturally, you would switch to a weaker weapon to put them in a glory kill state. Now, the question I would push forward is that more of a flaw of the way glory kills are implemented?
Yes, it is.
And
I'd say no. I think it's actually incredibly well done.
One reason. Glory kills are entirely invalidated by the existence of cryo health. If you freeze them, and then you damage them while they're frozen.
Oh, yeah, you get health back.
And you get infinitely more. You get, I think, like 100 health from breaking one frozen fodder than you do from glory killing it. So here's the thing. That's not entirely true,
because there's another thing to glory kills where, see, with glory kills, there's one major advantage they have over the cryo health, and that glory kills can actually be used as a way to get yourself out of situations with the slide upgrade, where if you can do them from greater distances. Suddenly, it's a meat hook that you can use for literally any weapon you have out at any time.
I actually never used that perk.
That
I
perk,
never used
It
that.
is
rune is strong.
Like, it's a teleport. It's basically a fucking Wesker teleport to just, I'm inside your gut now.
Is it really that strong?
It's pretty.
It is so fucking.
It's
I'll have to
pretty
try that
fucking
out then.
ridiculous.
It is a
Like-
get out of jail free card.
I could be wrong, but I think it actually gets people from a distance further than the meat hook. Like, this guy can be across the map, and you just teleport
I
up
might
to
need
him
to-
and do the glory kill.
I wanna
It's
try
pretty
this now
fucking
because,
sick.
All you
like-
need to do is like,
I want to try this now because like it just because I want to see I want to be able to just zip across the if it's as bad as you guys say.
It's
well, here's how you
it's
do
a
it.
strong. It's
It's
a
like,
strong.
even
rune.
if you're out of range, all you have to do is jump once, dash, and just as you're dashing, mash the hammer, the E key, or the whatever the melee button is on console, and just, no matter the distance, you're going to eventually teleport into it, because the dash will get you there.
So can I just hold it down and then just teleport
Yep.
to it?
No, you can't hold. You have to press it constantly, so just to make sure you're triggering, like, okay, I'm in the range. So just jump towards the dude, dash a couple times, mash the glory kill melee button, and eventually when you're in range, the second you are, and the second that key hits, you're inside his guts.
Because I mean, I did
it's
use
pretty fucking nuts.
the flame meat hook is a way to get
Flame belch?
armor and
the
health.
meat hook.
Because you can hook on to enemies that are staggered with the meat hook. But
Yeah.
if I can just use that, man, that would just, you might be right. That might just be entirely better. I'll have to test that out. I want to see.
I use it, like, I understand cryo health is fantastic for getting health, but if you need health, or
Health
if you need
and
health
breathing room.
and
Cryo
or,
exists to just give you breathing room.
yeah, but if you need like health and
Yeah.
or you just want to teleport away and just get yourself some distance from a group of enemies, the glory kill with that upgrade is invaluable.
Because I'm curious now, because like I need to test that out. I want to see if cryo health into double frag is better or worse than that. Because I remember at one point I used the frag grenade and also the shotgun grenade launcher, and I got like instant health from like 3 health like all the way back to full 200, just by smashing a group of enemies that were frozen.
Well, I mean, it's really good, especially if you're combining the ice bomb with like a blood punch, and you take out like 3 enemies,
Yeah.
3 weaker enemies at once. Yeah, you're gonna
Also,
get
an
fucking
enemy that
showered.
needs
It's
to
ridiculous.
be taken out of the game. I want the clap emojis to be put whenever it shows. Get rid of the tentacles. They don't need to exist in the game.
Oh my, okay. Are we just gonna talk about one of the things that does bother me in Doom Eternal before getting back to how good the weapons are? Because I have something to say about the plasma rifle. But
The
we'll get back
plasma
to that.
rifle's so much fun.
For
I
sure.
love that gun.
It's so fucking good, Dave. I could not disagree with you more. The plasma rifle might be my favorite
The plasma rifle
gun.
in Doom Eternal is literally is the very equivalent of picking up a lawnmower and putting it on someone's face. It chews through everything. Everything.
It's so fucking good. Even without attachments, it's
Yeah,
so
like
good.
you just don't need the attachments. Like that's it. Like I mean, I use the microwave because so I found out that the microwave deals damage, and that you can stop, go get some ammo, come back, and continue from where you left off. Because it's damage dealt, not a microwave bar. Like it isn't like a bar that needs to be filled. It's how close is the enemy to death.
Right.
That's what I like. about it.
Exactly. Yeah. The microwave is really good for basically stopping a single enemy. The problem with it is that as long as you're locked onto this enemy, you're really not allowed to
That's
do
why you get
anything
the
else. You
small-
can move
that's
around.
just
You
why
can
you get,
dodge
like,
other
a
enemies,
cacodemon.
but
And then you shoot it a little bit, you get it staggered, and then you just pop it. and then it damages like everyone. It's like a little tiny bomb.
Yeah.
But no, continue.
Well, yeah, that's a really good thing is that it's an explosion that hits everyone
But
else.
like Doom
That's
said,
what's
you
really
don't
good
even
about
need
it.
that. You can just hold down
No,
that
it's
trigger
like-
and you can just go to town. Because you will destroy anything. Like I don't think I met a single like any kind of enemy that could withstand like a full just opening up the floodgates with the plasma rifle or the plasma gun.
There's only one. It's the Marauder.
Yeah, because he can block it, but he doesn't count. He doesn't count.
Well,
I
yeah.
even beat the
sucks.
gladiator with the plasma rifle or the plasma gun.
But yeah,
So-
let's get to annoyances because you're talking about the tentacles, and that's a little side tangent. Oh, excuse me. That was disgusting. But a little side tangent for Doom Eternal is what's with all of the little fucking roadblockers in this game? You have the tentacles, you have the purple ooze, you have the swimming sections.
Whoever made the ooze, I want them fired. I want them fired.
Who thought this was a good idea?
Hey,
I actually forgot that there's the fucking
see,
ooze and the swimming. Like
swimming,
that
I don't
doesn't
care.
need to be in the
swimming,
game.
It's whatever. I can handle that. I played Serious Sam. I can handle shitty swimming. But so the ooze though, what a wonderful idea, guys. Let's make a momentum-based run and shoot game. And then let's make it so you can't do that very mechanic. And not only that,
Nope.
let's make it
Yep.
so a tentacle that can pop out of the ground that you can't see can just come up, smack you, get a free easy hit on you because you can't zip back.
Because you're in the fucking ooze. Yeah.
What a great idea. What a wonderful idea to just let me get hit for something that I could not prevent.
On Nightmare, it's gonna be a fucking
It is.
train
It is.
wreck.
And it really is. Like, I'm honestly thinking, I've been trying to think of ways to just get away from the ooze sections. And I'm just like, I'm just going to have to forego some secrets. Because I'm not going to go near it.
Yeah, that ooze doesn't have a place
and
in the game.
it adds
at all.
nothing.
And the thing is that the
Um,
only place that it is honestly sucks is the super gore nest. Whenever you have to go to the area where you can't see where the tentacles come out.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the worst part. The only thing I will say is that, in the grand scheme of things, if we're looking at the full percentage of the game, things like the tentacles are there more often than the other stuff.
The
but
ooze happens
things like
more
the tentacles,
often
the
than it
ooze.
should.
Let me put it this way. I remember
Yeah,
the tentacles more than I remember than I remember the Marauder.
Yeah.
Like I just remember there's the room at the final end of Necrovol. Oh my god! And it's just filled with tentacles. it was horrible.
You're probably right. I'm not really thinking about how much the tentacles annoy me so much, but you're probably right. It's probably more of a problem than I'm giving it credit
For me, it was Mars Core, where it's just that entire fucking floor of nothing
Yeah, no,
but tentacles.
it wasn't Necrovol. It was the Mars Core that I was thinking about.
Yeah, it was Mars
Dude,
Core.
no, it was awful, Dave. Like all I remember from that was just me walking and then getting just like a cheeky little 10 HP hit on me. I'm just like, this ain't gonna be fun.
You know, a Nightmare is gonna do like fucking 50.
And like it would just smack me, and I'm just like, is there?
Probably,
and like it would be different if I could just chuck a grenade in there and deal with them, but I can't. You have to bait them out before you can deal any damage.
Yeah, you have to wait until they pop out.
And then I have to waste
It's
ammo
like-
on it. And the thing is, though, it takes two shotgun shots to kill it, which means it takes one super shotgun shot to kill it instantly.
Yeah, that's what I did most of the time was a super shotgun, which felt bad to get rid of 2 shells.
To think
But,
that the
I don't know,
super
it was what it
shotgun would
was.
be a necessity to kill tentacles.
I know. I think, first of all, like, don't have them at all. They don't add anything to the game. But if you're gonna have them, combat shotgun should be enough. It's dumb. They're just roadblocks more than anything.
To be honest, like, I think I remember some parts where, like, I would have to deal with it in the room that the room on Mars Core. I remember specifically that I just ran through it. I just took the damage because I'm like, I'm gonna take it either way. Let me just go ahead and just run through it, deal with it, and then get out of here.
You're better off taking all the damage at once than stopping at each spot, waiting for it to pop up.
And I thought about it just now because I remember something that I did. I know what they did with the tentacles and why the tentacles exist. They exist chainsaw fodder because you can chainsaw them and you can get ammo and health.
Yeah, but here's the thing. There's a problem with that reasoning because in every single fight, you have the basic zombies that spawn infinitely until the main enemies are dead.
That's the thing.
That's chainsaw
They were
fodder.
used as a way to think, well, what happens if someone is so bad that they just don't have any other way to get ammo? Well, here you go. Here are some tentacles that basically hit scan you. Like, I know that I can dodge it because I've done it before, but it's hard, man. The timing is tight.
But like Doom says, they might as well just have tentacles wandering around in those hallways.
Yeah, just have like fucking
instead
zombies.
You might as well just just put zombies in the hallways.
Yeah.
It's what they did in Doom 2016.
Yeah, instead
Why
of
change
tentacles. Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know. Tentacles are stupid. No, they don't need to be in the game. It doesn't.
Like, there's nothing. There's nothing in this world that annoys me more than chip damage. I hate chip damage.
Yeah, speaking of needless changes, as the last big gameplay thing we haven't talked about for the campaign, it's... So why did they make every boss fight an ad?
What do you mean?
Yeah, every boss fight has additional
shitload
enemies. Ads.
Yeah, just they always have reinforcements.
Every single one.
Continue.
Before we get to that, I did want to ask about the plasma rifle.
Okay.
Because I like the plasma rifle for the most part. The only thing that I have against it is I feel like the chain gun works just as well, except for enemies with shields.
But see,
and on top of that, the plasma rifle is taking ammo away from the ballista.
That's the thing about it.
So
I know the mindset that you're in right now, Dave. You're in the old Doom 2016 that the plasma rifle sucks.
Well, no, the plasma rifle's fine. It's just it performs too similarly to me to the chain gun, with the main exception being
think of it like
the mods.
this. Think of the plasma rifle as a better machine gun. So it's better. The plasma rifle puts out more damage than the heavy cannon, and I agree with you on the ballista thing. But here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
You can the plasma rifle goes through about. I think it has like a max of like 500 shots.
350.
So you could put down an enemy in 50 shots. And so if you get like a big enemy, like everyone says, like not everyone, but I noticed that when I was playing the game that every time I had an armored Mancubus, I would just pump like 100 shots into him, and he would be fine. But the thing is, though, is the reason why why I think that the plasma gun is better than the ballista is because you can hit more than one enemy and it's quicker. It puts out damage quicker than the ballista does.
It's a DPS gun. It's strength build versus DPS.
Like it literally is just pumping out damage. Like it actually kind of needs to be nerfed if you ask me, but like cuz I've had the best example would be I fought a cyber demon. Dude, that thing just chews through cyber demons. It basically invalidated the fight.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I'm doing it wrong. And I'm trying to
point at it. Just all you
don't
gotta
know.
do is just put the crosshair on it and then just hold it down. It has no recoil. It has nothing.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know what to tell you other than it didn't really work that well for me. I would use the mod that it charges up like the overheat, and then you shoot out this blast. And I like that a lot from a gameplay concept. And then after you shoot the blast, it becomes a more powerful version, and you shoot out a stream of red plasma balls. And I did that for a while, but then I used the chain gun, and you use the mod where like you get the fucking 4 barrels spread out, and it's just this ridiculous looking monster. I used that for a while, and I feel like that was just as effective, if not better. But on top of that, even if it was slightly less effective, I'm still saving ammo for the ballista, which I love the ballista because I can snipe people from across the room. So I don't have to worry about the mancubus fucking putting his arms into the ground and doing that insane AoE explosion that just fucks you up if you get close. I don't have to worry about that. I just fucking snipe. I use the fucking heavy assault rifle to get rid of his 2 arms. Then I just ballista him 2 or 3 times, and he's
Dave,
out of there.
I think I understand now.
And that's what I
You're right.
did.
No, I mean, you're right. The ballista is a good option, but I think that it's not a matter of which gun is better. I think it's just now a matter of it's a difference in play style. So for me, I like to get in there, and I just like to dance around the enemies, and I like to just mow them down like just like grass. And for you, I think it's a lot more like you said how you like to pick off the enemy weapons and then just, immobilize them and make them worthless and then take them out easily. I think it's just a difference of gameplay. I think that you're a more methodical player, and I'm just the kind of guy that runs in and just shoots shit and hopes to get lucky.
Is that not what you guys did? You guys didn't really focus on the enemy weaknesses, or what?
Point.
I did both because what I would do is I found that the shotgun with the grenade attachment has the most insane hitbox. So what I would do was I just use that to get rid of every enemy weak point if I found it.
Yeah.
And instead of trying to specifically aim for that, every single arena I do the same thing. I will just start running a loop. I'll just try to lapdog every enemy to get them into a center and just kind of circle around them.
You just corral them into you basically corral them like cattle, and then you just get them all into this one little area, then you just start wailing on them. Basically, the difference is
That's
I
interesting.
think it's just a matter of how you play the game. So I played the game both on the computer and on the PlayStation 4. Felon played it on the PlayStation 4 more than I did, and because she likes the controller, I prefer the PC. So, and I think it's a matter of it's easier to bunny hop on the PC than it is on the controller. So I can understand why you would have done that, but for me, and I'm assuming for Doomed as well, that it's easier to whenever you have the freedom to just walk up and just tap space repeatedly and just get the things you want out of it. I think it's just easier to do that certain play style. It's what's the word? Freedom of movement.
Fair enough then. Yeah. Fair enough then. I've always it was a problem that I had with Doom 2016 as well. I felt like half the weapons become obsolete once you get the other guns.
Okay, see,
I didn't feel like there were enough
Doom
differences
2016 though was
between
a lot of the
guns.
weapons in Doom 2016. As soon as you got them, it invalidated the other.
Yeah, see, in Doom 2016, I would 100% agree with you. You got the super shotgun, you got the chain gun, you got the Gauss cannon. You beat the game. Congratulations.
And I find it funny how in both games the rocket launcher is just doomed to a life of inadequacy. Like, I only use the rocket launcher if I had an enemy that I was just like, okay, that needs to go now. And then I would just do the homing or the lock on, and I'm just like, okay, now I can move on.
I always preferred the
remote detonation.
remote detonation.
I use both, honestly.
I don't like the remote detonation only because I have a pea brain and I just don't want to have to think about dealing with my rocket after I've already shot it.
I actually like it because it's really, really good for the Mancubus getting rid of their armor and their cannons, because it does damage to all three at once.
I mean, no, you're not wrong, but like I said, that's what I just had the shotgun grenade launcher for. So.
Well, it like the remote detonation requires you to be aware of where the rocket's going to be at a certain point.
The flare mechanic.
Yeah, and you have to look for the flare.
Which, I mean, it was interesting at first, but then I'm just like, okay, well, the novelty's worn off. I'm going back to my to just my grenades, because the grenades are so good in this game.
They're actually useful this time.
It's not like I'm just throwing a box of pop rocks at them.
Well, I definitely see where you two are coming from now.
It's just a
for
different
sure.
play style. Like, just because it's easier to just hold down
absolutely.
the left click and then just go to town with the plasma rifle or plasma gun. I'm going to get the name right soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just say plasma rifle because it's kind of like pulse rifle from Doom.
I think it is plasma rifle.
At least I'm not calling it the shock rifle like I did in Doom 2016. Fucking Unreal Tournament.
Isn't it called the plasma rifle in Eternal?
Yeah, I think it is. My problem is I always call it the pulse rifle just because of aliens.
I like how you can tell where people come from in this world, just because I call it the shock rifle from what's it called, from Unreal Tournament.
Unreal Tournament
2014. Those were the days.
Oh, you know what? It's called plasma gun in
that's
Doom
where I
3.
probably get it from.
Yeah, but fuck Doom 3.
Hey,
so
I like Doom 3. Fuck you.
I like it too, but I had fucking some guy scream at me for 20 comments continually. So you know what?
What you should have done is what I would have done. Just like, hey, guess what? And then he would never been able to reply because you blocked him.
Yeah, but that requires an effort.
No, it doesn't. You just hit block.
So, after the guns, what else do we have to talk about?
The boss fights.
I have nothing to say on the boss fights because there were no such thing as boss fights.
Oh
in this
yeah.
game.
You were saying, like, what's with the bosses constantly having
the boss
fucking
fights were
reinforcements
literally
come
just
in?
exposition dumps at that point. They were just fodder and exposition. Like there were only like 2 boss fights. Like the others were just mini bosses.
Yeah, you had a gladiator. You had what?
Gladiator and Con.
Conmaker and
Yeah,
Icon
that's
Sin.
just 3 bosses, actual bosses.
And
Oh yeah, Icon of Sin.
That's how irrelevant the Icon of Sin is.
Yeah, Icon of Sin, and he's supposed to be the big final, the big finale.
A big
It's
lumbering,
just,
stupid,
I don't know,
hunk of
whatever.
meat.
I found Icon of
I
Sin
did
pretty
too.
annoying.
I found every boss annoying.
like for me anyway.
But see, that's where the whole man. I sure do love just holding down the left click with this plasma gun.
I liked Conmaker. Oh, the fucking microwave beam on Icon of Sin.
No, it doesn't.
But it doesn't work, right? I assume.
Either I messed it up or I just couldn't reach it. I wasn't close enough, but man, I tried.
I liked Conmaker, but I felt like the reinforcements and the area of denial got really out of hand towards the end of that
See,
fight.
that's the thing.
Conmaker, I didn't have any problems with it because
Yeah.
I finished the fight in less than 5 minutes.
No, see, here's the thing. The fights aren't the problem here. My problem with every boss is that every single one is ads. Throw them in.
I didn't care for them because here's the thing, though. I was so busy getting slapped around and pushed around by the Con Maker. I'm just like, I never touched the ground for like half the fight. So, and like I just kept hitting the jump pad. So like I just said like, fuck it. I'm not gonna deal with this stupid creep. This isn't Binding of Isaac. So I just kept hitting the jump pads, and so every single time I got the chance, I would either just try and hook her with the meat hook, which didn't always work for some reason, but I don't know what that was. Or I would just hit those jump pads and just get out of there. And then I would just sit there and look at her. And then I would just like, man, I need something gone, like now. What am I going to do about this? Oh yeah, I have a homing rocket launcher that can take out half of her shields in one homing shot. So I was literally just I half helped her, went around, farmed some of the ads, did it again, and that fight was easy. Like I don't think I never dipped below like 100 health in that fight.
I think you're misunderstanding me. I'm not saying the fight is hard. I'm saying it's really annoying, and the fact that the only way to make it interesting is rely on like fucking ads and shit, area denial everywhere is really boring.
Well, see, I honestly, like, you might be right, but I barely remember any of that fight. I remember how I killed her. I don't remember, like, I know that she used, like, ground fire, or was it electricity?
It was fire.
And then I know that she did this thing where she would, like, fly up and make this noise and start monologuing. And then that's around the time that I would aim at her and just, hit her.
But I think here's the thing, if this was just a first-person shooter, then whatever. Every first-person shooter has boss fights like this. Like, these are Serious Sam boss fights. But this is coming off of Doom 2016. And Doom 2016, all 3 of those boss fights are knockouts.
The Cyber Demon.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Cyber Demon,
and then
the Sentinel guys,
Spider
the
Mastermind.
Ninja Turtles.
Spider Mastermind.
Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, the Sentinel
the
guys.
Ninja Slugs.
Like, every single boss fight in that game was really fun, and it was really interesting. They had mechanics, they had wind-up, they had patterns, and a lot of people complained later that, oh, they're so easy. Yeah, they're easy because they have telegraphed patterns that are good to recognize. They're well-designed boss fights.
Yeah. That just because they're easy doesn't necessarily make them bad.
Yeah, the counter I have to that is no boss in Doom Eternal is that hard. They're just annoying.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you that. And like Doom said about disabling the screen flare. Oof. Yeah, there's a lot of that in this game because there's a lot of creep. This game uses, like you said, area of denial stuff too much. It's too reliant on stopping me from moving, and I don't like that.
In a game based around moving.
So I'm not necessarily against that idea about denying your movement options because it forces you to think of other ways to get out of the situation. But I don't think Doom Eternal did it in an effective way, in a way to make it interesting. I think it just did it in a way to be annoying.
That was not conducive to gameplay, healthy towards the gameplay. Like, it's like. Yeah, they did
That's
it
a really
in
good
a
way to
way
put it.
that made it so the moment that it happened, you didn't think, well, how can I get out of this? You're just like, instead of thinking, well, what do I do now? You're thinking, man, this is not fun. Man, that's annoying. I don't like that. If you have to say, oh, I don't like that, in the middle of a fight, then something is wrong. I mean, it's like going on a bad date. If you have to even think, I don't like this, that's a red flag, and you should probably, back out.
You're saying that to the wrong people.
Unfortunately, I have more knowledge of that than I care to admit, but from the opposite side.
Anyway, let's change topics. I'll have to be more careful with my metaphors.
It was good.
My fucking Jack Daniels is empty right now.
Yeah, all right, sad boy hours. But anyway, so yeah, like if I have to think, I think in the middle of a fight, man, this is kind of annoying, or wow, this sucks, then that's not something you want the player to think.
I think Doom said it really well, where he explained briefly that the only way they could make the boss interesting was by using the creep, because without the creep, without the reinforcements, the ads, then the boss is nothing.
I mean, that's fine. You're the Doom
And I
Slayer.
found that really interesting, and I do
You're the
agree
Doom
with
Slayer.
that.
They are nothing. They are nothing.
Well,
Yeah.
they could have done more though.
Coming off of
They could have
2016,
done more, though,
where
which
they
is-
did more. That's my problem.
Exactly. Like 2016, I wouldn't like. I agree. Like the bosses were fairly easy. They weren't. There wasn't much to the bosses per se, but they were fun. They were engaging. They had mechanics. They had you look at the screen and react to what was happening. Oh, he's doing this time. Like when the cyber demon puts up the walls on either side of you, and he starts slashing at you with low and high attacks. And it's like, oh, I have to jump and then stand still
I'm gonna
and then
say
jump.
something.
It wasn't much,
I'm gonna
but
say
it was
something
fun.
a little heretical towards you and the people of the internet. I want Doom
What's
2016 to
up?
be remade. And the idea with some
With
of
the gameplay of
mechanics
Eternal?
So with the meat chunks,
was actually
with the
thinking
chunking
about
of
that.
enemies, when you shoot them, they just kind of like fall to pieces. Put that in Doom 2016.
Yeah.
Put the super shotgun from Eternal into Doom 2016. Take all of the good ideas from Eternal, and then just put them in 2016, and you'll have a perfect game. But you know what? And then I'll complain about that game.
I was
being
actually
too good.
thinking about that. Well, the idea is that like you would have to rebalance it. So Doom 2016 would be a little bit more difficult. Because if you just put all those mechanics in 2016 and that's it, you're going to fucking curb stomp over the entire game. And it'll be absolutely ridiculous. But I was kind of thinking about that while we were having this conversation earlier. I was like, what if someone took 2016 and they modded it to add all these Eternal mechanics?
I will never play a mod.
It would be interesting.
Here's the thing. That would have been cool if Doom 2016 had mod support.
Yeah.
Are you saying that
which is what they had
Bethesda
Snap
is
Map for.
against modding?
No, that's crazy. Why would I ever imply that?
I'm about to say I have
Well-
someone called I have to call up our buddy Todd. Let him have a little talk with you
Just Rod Howard, independent
Mis-
game
mis-
consumer.
Mr. Howard.
Papa Howard. He's gonna have to sit down and have a little chit chat.
Oh man. Do we have something else? Well,
I
yeah,
think
we already covered the
pretty much
bosses.
The majority of it, like we've gotten.
We haven't gotten to to me the big negatives that really make me hesitant to recommend Doom Eternal fully as a package, and that's everything else outside of the campaign.
Outside that's what I was gonna say. Outside the campaign.
Okay, so
well,
I'm gonna
battle
do what
mode,
I did
specifically.
with the end of Yu Yu Hakusho after the Dark Tournament, and I'm gonna pretend like battle mode just doesn't exist.
Yeah,
Oh man.
honestly, I might give it another
I'm
shot,
not.
but like from what I played, I
It's
didn't like it.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm gonna give you exactly what battle mode is. Battle mode is if the Slayer is too good, you're not gonna have any fun as the monsters. If the monsters are too good or in a party, you're not gonna have any fun as the Slayer. So regardless, one side is not going to be having any fun. Choose which side you want to be on.
Yeah, I have further thoughts on that, but the basic, I heavily agree with what you're saying. And again, I have further thoughts that I want to
game
get
Yeah,
of-
let's
into.
just
but
get into
who's
multiplayer
going
right
to
now.
suffer?
Got
Fuck
it.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
Well, I think my biggest issue is that as the demons, your health is so low that you are encouraged almost by design to cheese because you have the loot block. This is where it becomes a problem because what you do is you play as one of the smaller demons and you just hide and you just block loot. And then you have the other demons play as the Mancubus because the Mancubus meta is fucking real.
yep. Mancubus is really fucked up. He can tank a lot of hits, and he'll die eventually. He's not going to outsurvive the Slayer, but with that flamethrower in your face, he's going to fucking do a lot of
Mancubus-
damage. And when you resurrect, you just
Mancubus
finish
does
the job.
what the Mancubus do, because the Mancubus can just light you on fire. And after you're lit on fire, you're just like, man,
Yeah.
I can't see shit. So what do I do?
So what you said, Wiggle, where you're like, either one side is
What was
way
the
better
term?
than the other side.
It's the
And
Dead
that-
by Daylight theory. It's the
What-
Dead
what's
by
that?
Daylight theory.
It's not a fucking
one
theory. It's a
side
fucking fact.
is not
And
gonna
it's
have
it's
any fun.
yeah, and that's the tremendous flaw with asymmetrical multiplayer. And I've said it before in my older videos that I love the concept and I want to see more of this. And we've had an explosion of this recently. The oldest one I can think of is Pac-Man Versus for the GameCube. But ever since then, we got fucking, what is it, Nintendo Land for the Wii U.
Evolve.
And then after that, those... Oh, what was you saying?
Evolve.
Say it again?
Wait.
Oh, Evolve was like... That was the
What was-
first
Evolve
really big
was
AAA
the-
game that was asymmetrical.
The Valve thing, right?
One player plays as a monster.
It was
No, it
the
wasn't
X
Valve.
guys
No,
who
it
made
wasn't
Left 4
Valve.
Dead. It was like
Oh, okay.
X members of the
Okay.
Left 4 Dead team made Evolve.
Ah, that's
Yeah,
what
so
it
it
was?
was
X
Interesting. I didn't know
members,
that.
no connection to Valve. Valve.
Yeah, but
Huh.
I mean, it was the same thing.
Like, it was the
the
connection in terms
brainchild
of,
of Ex-Valve.
they made Left 4 Dead.
It's it's one of the things
Yeah.
like it's like saying that what the fuck are they? The guys who made they made Prey, Dishonored,
Arcane.
Arcane. It's like saying
Arcane
You're talking
Studio.
about... You're talking about old Prey or new Prey?
the new one. It's like saying that Arcane Studios is Looking Glass Studios. Fuck you.
Okay,
Noah
okay,
Smith.
fair enough. I retract my statement, but still,
Okay.
I
That's why I'm
completely
like, no,
forgot
it's-
that
it's
Evolve.
not.
That's good one. Oh, I mean, everyone did. It disappeared
It
quickly.
died.
But that's not the point. That's not the point. Is that a lot of these games came out, fucking Dead by Daylight, Friday the 13th, which is more of a fucking party game.
Friday the
than a
13th
real
was
game,
such a
but
fucking
whatever.
blast. I had so much fun with the human characters just being spooked all the time.
Fuck Vanessa players.
Yeah, they fucking overreact
Screams
and
and
yell.
Derek. I screamed so hard my ascot came off.
But the point is, we've gotten so many of these games, and I feel like none of them have figured out how to get the balance done properly. And Doom Eternal has the same fucking problem. I appreciate them trying, but both sides are severely imbalanced when one of them isn't putting at least a little bit of a... When there's just a little bit of a skill gap between two teams, the balance is just all over the fucking place, and it's ridiculous. If the demons don't know what they're doing, the fucking Slayer
That's
just
the thing,
shuts
though,
all
is that
over
the
them.
demons don't even
And
have
then
to, like,
it's the other
so
way around.
The demons can know what they're doing, but if you get a competent Slayer who knows how to use the guns and the mods, they're gonna win.
No, that's not
Yeah.
true, because the players who know how to use the demons know that fighting the Slayer is the most pointless shit in the world. But you just block.
Well, see,
their
that's the
loot
thing, though,
drops.
is that, like, the idea of that, though, is that just... I tried the loot block strategy, but there's always that one dude who knows how to get past you.
So the theory I have of how they plan to design the game is the main fight is between the Slayer and the two demons, but in order to add another layer to it, they introduced the summoning mechanic. So you have this setup where the demons create distractions for the Slayer, but then the Slayer can then use those distractions in order to resupply himself. The further layer to that is blocking his loot. And that's where it falls apart. They need to put a longer cooldown
They need to
on the
make
loot
it so
block.
you can't party
Either-
up as demons. It's just like Dead by Daylight and Survivors.
Well, that would help too. Yeah, because if you have a team of survivors in Dead by Daylight, you prevent the killer from having a fucking single modicum of fun. It's ridiculous.
And it's the same with this game. Like, dude, I played a game, and I know what I'm doing as the Slayer. Pretty decent as him. I know how to get past the loot blocking thing, which has been done to me. Just you gotta find that one straggler demon that's always around, and then you just chainsaw him and you get your loot. But
exactly, you just you have to find the right time for the loot block to go off the cooldown.
If you, like you said, with the Mancubus, if you coordinate correctly with the Mancubus, you can force the Doom Hunter, you can force the Doom Slayer into a corner. Like, yeah. No, it's bad. Yeah, it's really bad. And like, all you have to do is get the Mancubus, and then someone plays as like the the worst thing that's happened to me is I get killed by a fucking Revenant, and it still pisses me off because a Revenant can't do shit.
I do feel like Revenant's probably the weakest out of the options. He's also the most straightforward and the easiest to play as. Mancubus is probably easier. Mancubus is more brainless, but I do think Revenant's like the easy option.
I've only played as the demon like once or twice. Oh, excuse me. Can you play as a Pinky Demon?
No.
Then I don't care anymore.
No.
Dude, just let me run into you head first. Like, that would be so much fun to just have like two Pinky Demons just chasing you around the map.
I would say even worse than the Mancubus, because the Mancubus is a fucking pain in the ass to deal with. But yes, I'm gonna get to that. With Mancubus, at least he's slow and a big target. So if you stay trained on him and you somehow manage to avoid the summoned demons, eventually you can take care of Mancubus. It just takes fucking forever, but you can do it. But Pain Elemental, like, let's put a situation like not even Mancubus, Pain Elemental plus any other demon. You have one asshole out of your range of view, floating in the sky, constantly pelting you. And when you just look up at him, he puts up a fucking shield, and you're not allowed to do anything.
Just cancer.
And then you look, and then you look up on him, and now you're getting hit by everyone else on the ground. And then if you fucking deal with the demon on the ground, in a perfect situation, if you deal with the demon on the ground and the Pain Elemental is like near death, you have to be able to finish him off before he floats away with his fucking shield. Because if you fail to finish him off, you're not going to be able to chase him down. He fucking flies. He flies and he has the fucking dash. And then he just hangs out for fucking 15 seconds for resurrection. It's 15 or 20 seconds. I think it's 15. It's too short.
It needs to be a minute.
It's too fucking short for resurrection. I think a minute sounds about right, actually.
For me to find more health and ammo, and to punish them for making a mistake.
Yeah, if you're not going to chase them down in a minute, at least give the Slayer ample time to resupply himself. That gives the demon the choice to either hide and resurrect or finish off the Slayer. But that's not how it works. The number one choice is hide and resurrect, yes. Period. He's going to come back with half health. And you know what? Even if he doesn't want to fight right away, he comes back with half health and he just fucking heals himself. He doesn't approach you right away. Now he's back at you with fucking 75% health. It's ridiculous. It's
as long as you have one alive, the demon's just
guys,
around.
At least it's not as much of a joke as the Marauder is in that game mode.
At least he sucks.
I think Marauder. I don't think Marauder's terrible. I think he's supposed to be a really straightforward character. He's supposed to be like a weaker Slayer. So he has a weaker dash. He has a shotgun and a weaker ranged option. So he's kind of like, if you don't want to play as the Slayer, if you want to play as the demon rather, but you want to play as the Slayer still, then you have Marauder, who's not as strong, but he's the closest demon to being
similar
a Slayer.
Play style.
That's the theory. Yeah,
I do like,
that's the theory.
I do
How
like
well
the
it
wolf,
works,
though. I
that's
do like
that's
sticking
another
the wolf
question.
on people, though. That was pretty good. I'm like, all right, buddy, go get him. Go sniff him out.
So I feel like the two biggest problems is the flaw with asymmetrical gameplay, where it's extremely difficult to have both sides have equal fun. I think that's difficult, and that's just a problem with asymmetrical gameplay, period. But the bigger flaw, I think the demons have way too much of advantage over the Slayer. I think the Slayer can, like, in an ideal situation where both teams are effectively equal in skill at their roles, I think the Slayer can win, but he needs to play at an optimum play level, at a very high play level. Whereas the demons, they don't need to try as hard. They just put a summon in one corner, another summon behind the Slayer. They back off and heal if it's getting dicey. And then fucking worst case scenario, your Pain Elemental. You gotta have a Pain Elemental on your team because he's too fucking good. Worst case scenario, your Pain Elemental just fucking floats away in the corner by himself and jerks off for 15 seconds and is like, oh, I got my fucking partner back. It's fucking stupid. It's fucking stupid.
And the worst part is, like, I don't see this mode having legs. So the entire preamble that the id Software staff had is, deathmatch is fine, but it's just not Doom. It's not the Doom identity. It's like, what makes this more the Doom identity? Deathmatch has been a thing in Doom since the beginning.
It doesn't.
I don't think this was id's doing.
I was gonna say that.
I feel like
I
think this came from somewhere else, because why would they opt to make something harder to make than just making two people fight each other, making like a group of people fight each other?
Well, I think id would do that. I think id is willing to experiment and figure out some way to do something different and more interesting.
This idea does not feel very id to me, is what I'm saying. Like, it just, if
I do agree. I do agree that I think Bethesda looked at other asymmetrical
this is kind of
games
cool.
and they're
Let's
like,
do something like
make
this.
something
Maybe
like
that'll
this.
Be fun.
They're like, okay, look.
I could definitely see that
It's
happening.
like, look, guys, it's asymmetrical or it's battle royale. Pick your fucking poison.
Dude, I would have
fuck
I would have
you. Yeah,
actually
give me asymmetrical.
That would have been kind of funny to be
No.
running around.
I would have had a fucking
Dude,
stroke.
imagine how funny
Yeah,
it would be
don't give me
to
battle
run
royale.
around
I don't want to talk about
Necrovol
this. Fuck.
with the fucking Doomslayer in a battle royale. Like, okay, so yes, it would be weird, but just imagine being in a giant castle and having a giant battle royale inside of a castle.
No.
No, not
With
50
other
but like
Doomslayers.
maybe 20. So it would be like deathmatch, but you would have.
Well, then no.
Yeah,
then
but
it's-
it would be.
Then it's just deathmatch.
It would be a
Which I
better
would
version
prefer.
of deathmatch. Like, it would be more of a.
It would be a worse
What's the word?
version.
What's the word? It would be like not an open arena, but you would be stuck in an area that you would have to fight in. So it would just be like, oh, so we're running around
But
these
then it-
corridors fighting each other.
But then it would be boring because you die once and you'd be out of the game.
Forget about the battle royale thing. Deathmatch inside of a confined area that's not a circular, square, octagonal arena. Give me something with layers.
Well,
Yeah, no, that's
yeah,
fine.
you know what? No,
I mean that's what Doom 2016's deathmatch was.
And, yeah.
I thought it was very well done. A lot of people didn't
a
like it.
lot of people didn't like
but I
it
liked
just because of the
2016's.
multiplayer beta, which was broken. That's it. That's the only reason.
See, the way that I assumed, a lot of people didn't like it because it sat in between something really hectic like Quake, but then it was more crazy than Call of Duty, for example.
It's Halo.
So you had people who are like, well, this isn't Quake, and then you had other people like, well, this is crazier than Call of Duty, and I can't handle it. And then it didn't please either side. For me, it was perfect.
I liked it too.
I liked where it sat.
Like, well, for me, like the way I saw it, like
yeah,
it was Halo, and it's like I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I could see that actually. Yeah, it played pretty similar to Halo.
And I like Halo, so there you go.
Yeah, not Halo's rad.
And so,
All right.
Halo's not my preferred.
Next group
It's not my
talk.
favorite,
Next
but
podcast.
Halo's rad.
Halo.
well,
I mean, I won't be there for that. You two,
No,
you two
our
can
next
do that. I
podcast
don't
is
know
going to have
enough
to be
about
also
Halo.
spoilers. It's going to be for the Control DLC.
oh yeah, we're gonna have to get around
The
to that.
Foundation.
Well, again-
Buy it now. It's on. It's
Again,
out.
you two.
That's right. That's right.
Again, that's you two.
Yeah, I'm picking
But
up the Control
that'll be
DLC. Yeah,
that'll be a
I'm
good
100%
one.
gonna
It's
play
pretty
that.
good, man. You get a. I'm gonna let you give you a little taste. You get a new power or gun.
Okay, I'm down. Like I was gonna pick it up anyway. I like Control, so I was gonna get it anyway.
And you know you get to
But,
look at the only thing good that come out of Jessie, which is her ass.
Jessie's a good girl. She's very sweet. She's very
thick,
kind, and she's doing her best. She's doing her best.
I wonder now. See, when I'm to just go ahead and end this just to make it funny. I wonder if her brother is as thick as she is.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Well, he's wearing sweats. We don't
Well,
know.
I did have one last.
Oh, no, I have more
topic
talk
to
about
go
Doom
on,
in a little
and
bit.
Let's
that's
talk about some Doom.
oh, for sure. Then, well, do you have something else to talk about the multiplayer?
Yes.
I
or
don't
we're done
even
with
want
that
to
and we're moving on?
remember what the multiplayer was like. I just want to forget.
I have a question about the multiplayer, which to me is an extremely questionable bit of management on Bethesda and maybe a lesser degree
Will
its
I
part.
ever be free of this torment?
Well, I'm not talking
sorry-
about
I'm
Battle
sorry,
mode. I'm not
Aiden.
talking
I'm
about
sorry,
Battle mode.
Wiggle.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a different game entirely that came out in between Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal.
What?
It is a little game.
Well, it wasn't.
It's
It wasn't Quake.
it is
Champions.
Quake
What was it?
Champions, which I have an idea.
Oh, it was Quake Champions. I thought that came out earlier.
2017.
The beta came out earlier.
Huh.
No, it didn't. It came out 2017.
Really? I thought
It is
came
an
out
endless
2016.
beta.
Oh, it is. Oh, yeah. I mean, of
Nope.
course it is. It's League of Legends.
But here's my question is, okay, so Quake Champions isn't doing that well. It's fine, though. It's a deathmatch, it has hero mode, has regular deathmatch, it has team deathmatch, all the basic shit that you have in all these kind of games. So why don't you take this Quake-style shooter, this arena deathmatch thing, that's not doing too well, and rebrand it as the multiplayer mode for Doom Eternal?
Because that's old hat, Doomed. That's old. We're going the new, better things. This
But-
is 2020.
It's cheaper and better than Battle
When
Mode
has Bethesda
implementation.
ever done better?
Yeah, pretty much.
I know, but
For
like to
fuck's
me,
sake.
like that is my biggest frustration. Is like Quake Champions is a fine game. It's not doing very well though. So why not rebrand it as the multiplayer mode for Doom
Like
Eternal?
it's been
Take the foundation
it's been
already
almost 20 years since Bethesda's done better.
I mean, I'm with both of you 100%. Is what Doomed is saying is the right idea. The way I look at it is my choices are either battle mode, you know, maybe a little bit better balanced and whatever, but it's either battle mode or it's fucking 2016's multiplayer. And I'm like, just give me the fucking
I'd
2016
rather
multiplayer
just run
because
around and shoot
it's
people.
easier to implement. Yeah, well, it's easier to implement, and I know it works. I know what to expect out of it. I appreciate the experimentation, but I don't think it was worth sacrificing the multiplayer for battle mode. And what Doomed is suggesting makes even more fucking sense. Just do what you did for fucking Quake Champions. Give that another shot. I don't... So here's one thing. If you have both, then you're going to split the player base. And I understand that logic, and it's a reality. You're going to have half the people playing battle mode. You're going to have half the people playing multiplayer. Neither one is going to be properly populated. But even considering that, I don't think it's worth it to get rid of traditional multiplayer. Traditional deathmatch is just... That's what everyone fucking plays. Like, it's been in the series since the fucking beginning.
But here,
I don't know.
I'm
It's
just
bonkers to
gonna
me that they
do
got
what
rid of it.
Everyone who is in here and everyone who is listening to this is thinking, and I'm just gonna go ahead and kick that dead horse one more time. When has Bethesda ever made a financially logical,
Oh yeah.
competent decision regarding a game?
I know. I don't get it either. But the only reason Bethesda's surviving is off of
they're surviving
Elder Scrolls
off
and
of goodwill.
They're Goodwill and id Software.
Yeah. Well,
Not even it. Like, the thing is,
Well,
though, is that
there's-
after they go bankrupt, I mean, id still owns their own ID, right? They funny. They still,
They own their own
Yeah.
IPs. Yeah, they got
oh,
everything.
IP you mean? But yeah.
but no, see, they still own it. So even if Bethesda goes under, I mean, it's still gonna be around, man. Like, it.
They'd probably just go back to
Yeah,
Activision.
just. Oh no.
Well, even without id, like if for whatever reason both companies go their separate ways, Bethesda's still gonna survive off of fucking Elder Scrolls and Fallout fans, and they're just gonna keep copy pasting their fucking games, and for whatever reason, that's what makes the money, and they're not gonna stop doing that until it stops being successful. And as soon as it stops being successful, that company's fucking done because they don't
Well,
have
see, the
anything
thing is,
else.
though, they're gonna do what EA did. They're gonna say, "Okay, guys, we've realized the error of our ways. We're gonna make a better, brighter, new game, and it's gonna be great." And then they're gonna make a shitty game, but they're gonna hype it up like it's great. Hence, Battlefront.
Oh, well, that's what they do now.
mean
That's what they
Starfield?
do now. Oh yeah, Starfield, the game we still know nothing
the game
about,
with the bug that
other
if
than
you run too
it takes place
fast
in the
into
future.
someone, you end up getting a collision detection and you take damage.
The game that doesn't exist.
Yeah,
Really?
there's
That's
apparently
one
a
of the-
bug in the game that if you run too fast and like you hit another player character, you accidentally hit the I guess the game recognizes it as hit detection, and it makes it think you hit like a surface or something. Starfield. No, not
what
Starfield.
game is this, though?
Sorry, not Starfield. It's Star Citizen.
Well, Star Citizen's
Oh,
a
yeah,
different
no,
thing
but
I got
entirely.
confused
that's not
there for a
That is
Bethesda,
a
second.
though.
different thing
Never mind,
entirely.
people.
Yeah.
I got it's like 2 a.m. and I'm confused.
No,
But no,
that's
Starfield.
understandable. That's fine.
Starfield's never going to come out.
Well, we don't know anything about it. Like, 2018 it was revealed.
You want to know
if
what's
I'm
going to
not
happen with
mistaken, or it could have been
Starfield? And
2019.
this is my theory. It's not. It's going to end up. What's the word? When you love something too much, and you. So in story writing, there's a thing called your idea is too big. It's not going to work. So
You bit off more than you
yeah.
can chew.
Oh,
So
yeah.
what's
That
going to
that
happen
happens
is
all the fucking
they're
time.
going to make a huge, grand display or like a grand plot, and then it's going to turn out to be too big, and then they're not going to know what to do with it, because I mean Bethesda's never been very good at writing. Like they were good, but in the past couple of
No,
years,
they haven't.
not so much.
I mean,
But yeah.
we're getting a little off topic, but I think all of fucking Bethesda's games have been fucking terrible.
Agreed.
Like I think Morrowind is novel for
I mean,
the time.
some of the
Same with
writing in their
Daggerfall.
games is good, but like
They're-
every time it's like, what's the only experience they have? Like, as far as like, make
fucking. They made fucking Oblivion, and then
Ob-
they've copy pasted it since then. Fucking
Oblivion
Skyrim still
was a
runs on the
terrible
fucking.
game. I
Yes,
enjoyed playing Oblivion.
But fucking
It was
Oblivion, Fallout 3.
Also, slightly unpopular opinion, I don't mind Fallout 3. I think the hate it gets is kind of
I
retroactive.
hate Fallout
It's
3
like-
for different reasons, but it's not for the game. It's okay. That's a lie. It is for the game. I don't like the game because every time I play it, it feels like Do you remember Has anyone in here ever played Banjo-Kazooie? Do you
Yeah.
remember Clanker's Cavern?
Yeah, I know what you're talking
How
about.
everything
Yeah.
was all rusty and grungy and disgusting.
Oh yeah,
That's what Fallout 3 feels like
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
Just
that's the
I'm
whole
fine
game.
with
like
it.
I don't
though.
like it. Like I it's just it feels like I'm looking through a film of rust and I don't like it. It's the same with like so I would like New Vegas more if it wasn't so janky. But I mean, I like New Vegas.
I fucking love New Vegas. I fucking love that
I
game.
love New Vegas, but I don't like New Vegas. Like,
I hate all of those games because the combat just feels fucking worthless.
Oh, no, I agree.
And if the combat was at least close to competent, then I think there could be something really interesting here. But it's, I don't know. And then the RPG mechanics are just not fucking there. They're decent enough in Oblivion, which I played, and Fallout 3 and New Vegas, they do somewhat interesting things, and that's fine. So those are closer to being playable. But then you get to Skyrim, and the fucking RPG mechanics are just not fucking there.
So my issue with that
is
is the fact that for some reason, and it's only in Bethesda games have I seen this. Why is the hit detection or hitting, or like why is melee so? It feels like I'm hitting a board against a piece of cardboard. It's like I'm taking a
First-person melee combat sucks.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible.
It doesn't feel like I'm hitting a person whenever I'm like meleeing someone, especially in like Skyrim.
Yeah.
Skyrim is where it's at its worst.
Okay. Here's the thing. I will slightly defend it for the sole purpose of almost no game gets first-person melee combat right.
But see, here's the thing though. There's first-person melee combat, and then there's Skyrim, where you're just moving your hand in an X constantly, and then it's just making cut sounds. Like the characters don't react to being hit. Is what I'm saying.
Okay, hit reaction.
It feels like I'm wailing on a mannequin.
Yeah, and I heavily agree. I think that's the biggest problem more than anything with the fucking Bethesda's first-person RPGs.
Why they need to let id make those RPGs, because they clearly understand something.
That would be awful.
Well, they're closer.
No. I played Rage.
I think id. I think
was
id
Rage
will.
was Rage?
Oh yeah, Rage.
I never played it.
Rage. I played Rage. I know.
I don't think
it was purely.
I don't think it was terrible, personally.
It was mediocre. Honestly.
Was Rage 2 it?
Yeah.
Mediocre.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Like id Software is very good at heavily directed action games. If you give them open world RPGs, that company's gonna fucking collapse.
You're probably right. So I'll say this. I don't think Rage was terrible. You're absolutely right. It was mediocre. But is it better than fucking Bethesda's nonsense?
I'd rather play Rage.
Oh, of course, exactly. That's what I'm getting. So when Wiggles like give id Software the tools to make the next fucking Fallout game,
my
I'd be like,
nonsensical rants, Dave.
It's not defending you. I want that too. Fucking hell.
I disagree. You know what I want? I want Obsidian to get it, and Obsidian makes an actual isometric RPG.
Hey,
again.
they already did that though.
Well,
Pillars of Eternity 2 was a good game. Everyone can fuck off.
Pillars of Eternity 2 was good, but there's an even better game, and it's called Outer Worlds, which is pretty good.
No.
Oh,
no, Pillars 2.
Pillars 2 is good. Okay, no, you're right. Pillars 2 is good, but what about the what was the other game that I loved that I for some reason can't remember that they made? The one where you play as the Tunok.
It wasn't Divinity
Tunok.
Original Sin, was it?
No,
Tunok.
Divinity Original Sin is a different developer, but DOS 2 is really good. If you guys can play Divinity Original Sin 2, it's going to get a big old thumbs up from the Doom.
But no, what was the damn game? Okay, so you basically you play as the Lawbringer, and you're like this dude's judge or whatever it is. I can't remember the name of it.
Tyranny.
Yes, Tyranny. Tyranny was a damn fine game.
Yeah.
I'm
you get
looking it up
Earthbend
now.
We should probably get back on topic in a bit here, but like I think if anyone should get Fallout again, it's Obsidian, and they should make it like a Tyranny or a Pillars 2, something like an isometric RPG again.
I know Tyranny. I know Tyranny.
Pillars of Eternity 2 was pretty good. Deadfire was good. I don't know why people didn't like it that much. I mean, it was a step in the right direction.
It's because Pillars 1 was kind of eh.
I never played Pillars 1. So
It's fine.
Pillars of Eternity 2 was damn good though.
Well, let's
get back on Doom.
Let's get back on topic.
Let's get back off
we
Bethesda.
went really bad,
Yeah.
and that's largely my fault.
It's cool. It's cool.
Because I went off about Bethesda.
But anyway, so we don't like the multiplayer. We know ways that it could be fixed, but that's never going to happen because Bethesda doesn't listen to anybody, and I'm sure that it's already put too much money into this, and it's not going to change.
So I have another thing. It's kind of disappointing.
I was gonna say, yeah. What did you have to say about it?
The thing that I want to move on, since I think we're done with multiplayer and battle mode and everything, is I was saying earlier how I think this game has one of the greatest enemy rosters in any, like, total enemy rosters in any game I've played in recent memory. And I think it's a goddamn shame that we can't see how people are going to make new encounters with these new enemies in Snap Map.
Yep.
But
fucking
you know what?
agree.
Why is that gone?
It's going to be DLC, so get used to it.
No, it isn't.
I bet you it is.
They're not going to make this DLC.
I bet you they will.
They're not
going to
do anything with it.
What? Hold on. You're saying Wiggle that they're going to make Snap Map
I mean,
DLC?
the tools are already there, so maybe they might. I mean, you never know. At this point, man, like, what is the worst that they could do?
Not add it.
Yeah, but listen, man, I have hope.
So it's a nice dream.
Some of us want to have fun.
It's a nice dream.
Some of us just want to look at a recorded image of Doom Guy running around at Mach 10.
I hope they add Snap Map as DLC. I highly doubt they're going to.
Again.
But mod support isn't in Doom
It'll
2016,
get hacked
and it's not in here either.
Yeah, they would have to do some hacking fuckery to make it work. Have they ever done anything like that in
No.
2016?
Really?
I assume they don't have to.
They've done nothing.
They don't have to
They can't.
because of Snap Map. Well, because of Snap Map, like they don't really have a big need to. I would assume.
But the thing is, like, if they could, they would, because that's just how it is, and it's just with the way it's designed, they can't. There's no mod support for that game.
That's so fucking. That's insane, and 100% mod support is so
integral
fucking
in today's day and age.
So cock blocky.
Integral to
No,
Doom.
I was gonna say it's so cock blocky in this game because of Bethesda.
Yeah.
You
It's
mean
100%
the
Bethesda.
company
Mod
that
sup-
forgot to install their anti-piracy software?
Oh yeah, that was pretty funny.
They just
How did that
they
work
just-
out? Like
they just
they've
edited
changed
it.
it by now,
They
I
just
assume.
patched it.
Yeah.
But I mean, the free copies are still
Yeah, I
out there.
figured.
So
Whoopsie doodle.
Yeah, the damage has been done.
Didn't hurt the game sales, though. Still sold
I
pretty
mean,
well.
yeah, because I mean, who would have thought
Of
that
course.
if somebody likes something, they'll support it?
They would buy it. Oh,
Who
what
would
a
have thought
concept!
that us consumers would actually care about the company if they care about us?
That's stupid.
No.
But yeah, it's like, to me, like,
I
the
wish
lack
to
of Snap
live
Map
in the
is-
corporate wasteland that is Bethesda HQ. But anyway,
I don't. That place is
Fuck-
probably melting the
but
fuck
dude,
down every
it's
single
it's
day.
a
Fuck that.
world of denial, and just it like it's just. I wish that I could live in that world, and just be so happy,
They're probably hiring.
Just be blissfully ignorant.
unaware of the goings on of the world below.
But yeah, like, to me,
So,
that's my biggest disappointment with Doom Eternal as a package, is the additional modes either aren't there or are completely inferior to what came before.
So here's a question, and I'm sure I already know the answer to this question, and I agree with it, but look at it this way. If you had to choose between either snap map or master levels, does master levels justify the
No,
sacrifice
because we
of
could make
snap map?
master levels with snap map.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
that's
Like,
what I'm
the
thinking
thing
as
is
well.
that snap
And
I'm
that's-
sorry, but
that's what's-
snap map invalidates the idea
No,
of
go ahead.
master levels, because that's them.
Exactly.
That is them being greedy. That is them saying, "Hey, we can do this better than you can. Fuck you. We're not going to give you the ability to make it." That's literally
Yeah.
what they're saying.
Exactly, and that's what I was getting at. Is master levels are really nice. I like them a lot, but it makes no sense that that master levels could ever possibly replace snap map, and they do it purely because I'm sure they said that they're going to add more master levels. I'm sure the next one is going to be free. And then from then on, it's going to be, here's the DLC, and it comes with 3 master levels. And the DLC is going to be like additional brand new campaign levels, but they're going to sell you on like, oh, and it comes with 3 more
Also,
master
we
levels.
decided that it was taking these
Like,
levels were taking too long, so we've decided to condense them down into half of the previous level.
Well, you know what? It's interesting you say that. One of my biggest complaints with the master levels that they are is you still have to do the fucking
Yeah,
puzzles.
that sucks.
Like, I already did them before. Like, I don't want to do them again. I don't want to fucking, let me climb behind this giant demon on a cross, get on the rooftops here, then I gotta punch this box, then I
I
gotta
want to
get
know
on
what
the fucking jump
story of that
pad.
demon on the
It's-
cross was. What did he do? Why is he there?
He stole fire from
Was
heaven.
he,
What is his
was he
crime?
the one who stole the fire of hell and then gave it to us humans? Is he the Prometheus
you know
of
what he is?
demons?
Is that his name?
You know what he fucking is? He's an Evangelion reference.
Yeah, I actually think he is. I really do think he is.
Oh,
That's
fuck.
Lilith. That's
That's
straight
the
up
first
just
thing
Lilith
I thought, and
from
then I was just
Evangelion.
like, man, Doom's gonna eat this shit up.
I fucking ate that shit up the second I saw it. I marked
Just
the fuck
like
out.
all of a sudden, you just get like this raging boner. It's just like, Eva.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah, it grung like Ava. But the reason why I kind of got interested, and I'm really disappointed this was not like a gimmick or something, is, oh, are we going to have mech combat in this game?
Yeah, I kind of like how that was teased, and then they did, like sarcastically, and that was teased, and then they fucking didn't do anything with it.
I see giant mechs. Why can't I use a
don't-
Yeah,
giant
there's a
mech?
giant mech in your fucking floating castle. There's
Yeah.
a Doomslayer
that's what I
mech
thought, is
in
like-
your castle.
Why didn't you fight the
that's what
Icon
I-
of Sin with the mech?
I mean, really, that's what I thought was gonna
Yes,
happen.
that's what I was gonna say. I think that's what everyone thought was gonna happen. You know what? Most likely, I wouldn't be surprised if you were supposed to fight Icon of Sin with the mech, and it's just cut content.
Well,
We
like-
just get like an entire sequence of him booting the
That's-
mech up. And it's just like, the funny thing is though, is that you'd only get like half of the mech because that's all that's there.
That's all you need.
I
man.
only need the
That's
upper
all
half.
that's
I
there.
don't need the lower half.
But
I don't know. It's very, very strange that you see
Just
all
imagine,
these
I'm
mechs
just
as,
imagining
window
it now,
dressing.
the giant upper half of the mech with with the Doomslayer's tiny legs sticking out the bottom of the torso, holding it up.
just running as fast as
I
you
mean,
can.
they basically
would
said
be pretty
he's a
great.
god. He could do it if he wanted to. But I'm just like, man, just imagine that shit. Just him fucking running.
That's pretty funny.
Someone,
actually.
if there's someone who
Tiny
cares
legs.
enough about this podcast and you want to draw that for me, please do that.
That'd be fucking adorable. But I have like if you guys have any more thoughts, I have like 3 closing kind of
Yeah, it's
topics.
like 3 a.m. here, so let's wrap this up.
I have like 3
For sure, you go ahead,
closing
Doomed.
topics. Like, okay, anyone have a favorite level? Like any level
Necrovol.
in particular stood out to you?
Necrovol.
Not Necrovol for me.
Necrovol was like
I do
existing
like,
in a black metal
I
album.
like how Oh yeah, like if we're talking
Yeah.
about the presentation, the atmosphere. Oh, Necroval's fucking good. Necroval takes it. Yeah, I think
That
for
and also whenever
presentation.
you get to the portal
But
before Necroval, whenever you blow the hole in Mars and like the lava's like going all the way up in like tendrils from the gravity.
Mars Core.
that one,
That was
I think Mars Core
Yeah,
is my
Mars Core's pretty
favorite
good, too.
overall.
I like.
I have two. I'm tied for two. It's either Super Gore Nest
Hate that fucking
or
level.
I fucking love it. It's the best. So
Well, I was gonna say about Super Gore Nest. I find it really interesting how it's kind of semi.
I do like how the Gore Nests. I
It
do like
feels
how the
very
Gore Nests have
open.
like little teeth.
Yeah,
They're just like little babs.
yeah,
but what were you gonna say?
it's
Dean?
either gonna be Super Gore Nest or it's Urdak. Because Urdak is the kind of thing we have never seen in Doom ever before. It is such a tonal shift from the entire series.
But see, the thing about that is that I've seen
I
things
heavily
like
agree.
Urdak like hundreds of other times. Ancient alien
Not
race
Doom.
calls themselves angels. Bunch of weird biotech shit.
Wait, actually, I take both of those
Yeah,
back.
it's not-
I take both those back. Favorite level is Final Sin because holy shit, the game does not fuck
Yeah,
around
the
anymore.
Final Sin was just like, hey, we got all this stuff, and if it doesn't, like, what did GG Man Live say? If it doesn't break the engine, we're gonna throw it at you.
Yeah, it's just like 3 cyber demons in one fight.
And then continue.
I don't like the. I don't like the Final Sin fight itself.
No, not
But
Icon.
leading up
not
to the
Icon.
leading up to
there's
it, where they
like-
literally send 5 Barons of Hell.
Oh, yeah,
after you.
Every enemy in the game all at once. Fucking go.
Yeah, that I liked. I liked the fight up to Icon.
Yeah, so I don't mean the
Like, that
boss.
shit's
I just
fucking-
mean the
I'm not
level.
gonna lie though. I think I really like the Argent
Yeah.
Tower whenever you're going their Arc headquarters, only because
Yeah.
the Arc complex. Only
the Arc
because I
complex.
like the fact that Doom Guy has a cult that follows him, that it literally worships him now.
Well, I like Art Complex a lot. I don't think any other level fleshes out a neighborhood, so to speak, because you go through like a parking garage, you go through a Mario's restaurant.
Mario
I like that
Kart.
a lot, and then the roof.
And then you go through the
What was
That was
and then you go
Mario's
through the
Kart.
apartment complexes. Yes, we know it was a Mario Kart reference.
Yeah. Is it a Mario Kart reference? I
See,
didn't
he
know
didn't.
that. What's the restaurant
It's called
What's the
Mario's
name of the
Kart.
restaurant?
Carte.
You did.
Oh, I'm such an idiot. I never really put that together.
It's so
That's
good.
pretty great. Oh man. But yeah, I really like how Art Complex feels like the most fleshed out rendition of Earth, as opposed to like the other 3 Earth levels I think there are, where it's all
It's
ruins,
all
and
demons
that's
and
it.
Yeah.
shit.
It's all just like fucking Dead Space.
I
meat
feel like
planet.
No, it's just like whenever I got to Earth
Really,
for
it
the first
is.
time. Okay, so I like the first level whenever you got basically riding on the back of the Titan. That was pretty cool.
That's great.
I thought that was really
And
creative. I thought
the
that
whole
was
reason
great.
that I liked that level also, kind of shows the reason why I like Necrovol. I love that whole like gothic. Oh man, look at all these fucking boys in cages and these all meat bags, and every time I look at that, I'm just like, that's something right out of Berserk.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Like you like the culture and architecture
Yeah,
of like
like-
the demon world that they
I like
created,
it.
and I
It's
love
like-
that as
it's
well.
just
I think it's
wonderful. Like,
great.
they have a very good idea of what demons are, and that it's the same reason why I like the D&D idea of demons, or devils, I should say, is because like, yes, they're fucking evil monsters, but they're also kind of like lawyers.
There's layers of evil to the demons and devils.
But no, I like I said, I like Necrovol just because I love that shit. Like I eat that kind of stuff up, like fucking Soul Room, the room of a soul tornado.
if I had to pick one level, it would definitely be Mars Core, and that's the level I would want a master level
Oh,
of
that'd be great.
above any other.
The only one I disagree with is I want to see the insanity of Final Sin master level. I need that.
The funnest level for me, like the funnest level gameplay wise, had to be the Doom Hunter facility.
That's a
my
good one.
favorite. That's like the funnest level because that's like it just like I like to
Oh,
see
man,
like the
yeah.
demons getting
I'm
all
ju-
technified.
Well, I'm just remembering when you're going through the level,
And
you see the Doom
you
Hunter
make 'em.
body
I like how
little
I
by little.
make the Doom Hunter.
Yeah,
I put him
that
together
was
like
clever.
a Build-A-Bear
I do like that a
workshop.
lot. That was neat. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Except it's Build-A-Buddy.
Alright.
He's gonna be my buddy throughout the whole fucking game because he's the best. He's the best mini boss.
So,
So what else did you have? Doom?
closing thoughts, and then I had one last question after that. Kind of like wrapping up your complete thoughts on Doom Eternal.
For sure. You go first, Wiggle, and then we'll go down.
Yeah,
from there.
alphabetical again.
My final thoughts of Doom Eternal. A flawed but endearing masterpiece. Not even masterpiece. Let's go with Jim. It's endearing. Doom Eternal is endearing.
It's kind of interesting that I
But
would
the
have.
multiplayer doesn't exist.
It's fucking. It's. Oh my god. I would have called 2016 a masterpiece. It was really new and it was really fresh, at least for the time, if nothing else. And it felt really complete. And Eternal is such a strange case where overall I like it better, but there are so many little things that irk me that it feels like a worse package than 2016. And I'd rather play Eternal hand over fist, like no fucking question, but there's some like fucking Marauder is like such a big one. And he shouldn't be. He's one enemy, but holy fucking shit. Something about Marauder is just ridiculous. And then fucking multiplayer missing is just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and then it's just the little things too, like, oh yeah, the purple goo, and the tentacles, and the swimming, and the weird cutscene pacing. And it's little things. It's just death by 1,000 cuts.
Like
100%,
should've
yeah.
done-
That's what it is.
no cutscenes until the very end. That's it. Just like the only cutscene they needed was whenever he took out the knife and he stabbed the icon of Sin's heart, setting the boy's soul free and his dumbass daddy who believed the demons for whatever reason.
I don't know.
I mean, 2016 pretty much did
I think
that.
2016 did it
Yeah,
better.
the Samuel and Doom in the
Yeah.
middle. Oh, 100%, yeah.
Like, and that's
You had a little bit in the beginning, very
Yeah.
little in the middle, and then
You should
you had
just
the
given
ending.
us the ending. Like Doom guy
and that's why
does
it's
that
like,
one thing where he stabs it, and then at the very end he walks away from the icon of sin. Those are the only cutscenes we really needed. The one with the betrayer was just
I don't know,
pointless.
like it was pointless, like straight up.
Oh,
Like,
fuck,
the
yeah.
flashbacks, I could take it or leave it.
I like the flashbacks just because it's dumb, like fucking references to the comic. So it's
Yeah, but I could have gotten just as much out of
Yeah.
that by reading it.
that's true. But
Yeah, like I'm not against the flashbacks at all. They're fine, but King Novik, I think is his
Yeah.
name. He
I even
doesn't
forgot
really
that
add
that
anything.
character existed.
Well,
King
you
Novik's
would,
the ghost
because
dude,
nothing
right?
happens. I thought they were.
yeah, he's the big ghost who's like,
a ghost dude,
heaven's
yeah.
gonna be pissed.
Hey there, Hi there,
that's
guys.
basically
It
his
says in
character.
the lore that I inspired this rebellion. Just so you know, if you do this, heaven's gonna be pissed at you. You know, the one that I swore to never bend knee to.
Yeah, I don't understand what that was about,
I'm
but I'm
the
not
one
even
who
going to get
leads
into
the Night
that.
Sentinels,
Like,
boy.
that's whatever.
By the way, you better listen to the con maker. She knows what's up.
It feels really misguided to have characters like Betrayer and King Novik, and I'm like, oh, I guess they're gonna come back later. It's like, no, that's it.
I wish that I could see what would have been better
Fucking
is if they
strange.
had it so King Novik was someone that you could come back and talk to, like just routinely, just like you're like, oh, so hey, you remember how you told me I wasn't gonna be able to beat heaven? Well, guess who destroyed heaven?
Well, I have another thing for King
Maybe,
Novik
that's fine.
that would have been way easier, is have him not even be a character and have that ghost projection just be a con maker deception.
Or better yet, just have a voice. That's it. You don't even need a projection. Just have the voice and be like, oh, well, there's a giant-ass throne over there, so my tiny human brain can probably put 2 and 2 together and, assume who that is. A king.
No, I'm just saying contextually,
I mean,
have the con
yeah.
maker have the projection say that as a way to try to dissuade Doom Guy, as she's constantly doing, saying, if you stop now, I'll give you a big high five.
I mean, to be honest.
I mean, I think that makes more sense than what we got. Like, I haven't looked into the lore very deeply, but I don't really understand why King Novik is
I don't
so
think he's
mad.
mad.
At
I think
Doomslayer
he's just given up.
for All right, I can
think
see
it's
that.
inconsistent.
Yeah.
I think he just gave up. Because he realized that he was never going to really beat them. So, I mean, what could you do? Just give up. Because, I mean, in reality, there's a saying that, the job of a king is to surrender whenever the life of his people are at stake. So, he
That's pretty
gave
good.
up.
I can kind of
But
see
I
that.
guess he was broken spirit. His spirit was broken. But anyway, we're not going to bother looking into this.
Yeah, it's just kind of
Well,
wrapping
I was gonna say briefly, if they were gonna do that, which I think is a fine idea, they should have, like we said it earlier, they should have been more in your face about it. Like they should have explained it more, as opposed to just, I don't know.
Don't
it
make
feels like
all
they didn't
of the
do anything.
don't make the content that's supposed to help me understand unlockables.
Yeah, making it giving me a fucking novel and being like, oh, here's the story. I'm like, I'm not gonna read this. I'm sorry, I'm just not.
Yeah, and I think my end stance is basically the same as yours, Dave, where it's on one hand, if we're just talking campaign only, raw gameplay, just the moment to moment stuff, Eternal is better in almost every conceivable way than 2016. But as a total package, I think 2016 is the more complete one. So it's what do I recommend?
Here's a question for you. I think is interesting. So, okay, all right. So we have 2016 S's,
Yeah.
okay? Do the flaws of Eternal bring it below 2016?
And that's what I'm...
Or can you look past those flaws?
See, that...
Or you don't have a solid
I don't have a
answer, 'cause
solid
that's where I'm
answer
at. I don't have a solid
because
answer.
my close thing to a solid answer is as a total package, everything included, including the multiplayer and the lack of snap map, I would recommend 2016 over Eternal. It's just a better package deal.
Yeah, and I hate to say it, but what I would recommend to people is let's say you've never played either, I would recommend people play 2016 instead. And then if you want more, then Eternal's fucking fantastic. But I wouldn't recommend Eternal first. And it feels wrong, but
yeah,
it's
because
just
the actual most important part, which is the gameplay part, is better in Eternal, and that is, but it's doing all the heavy lifting where 2016 was a more complete package.
yeah. Well, it's and on top of that, even if we're just gonna look at the campaign alone, it roadblocks you more.
Yeah,
Which is just
little things.
it's bizarre, man. It's bizarre.
What was the curse? The sequel curse. How the sequel will always be worse than the original, but the third, which is the trilogy, will redeem the sequel.
I don't know. I've seen more third ones be bad.
I mean, yeah,
trilogies
that
than
is also
else.
part of it. But The third is the Redeemer. It either fails or succeeds.
I don't know. Usually, like video game sequels
We'll
are pretty
see.
good.
I mean-
so like, and I'm not saying this.
Just remember, the
the
sequel
second
will
part-
never be better than the original.
I
than
I
the
don't know if I
original.
agree with that. I've never agreed.
Except
with
for
that.
Infamous. Infamous 2 was amazing.
Like, like I think fuck. I'm trying to think of it. It's like Doom 2. Doom 2 I think is better than Doom 1. Fuck, off the top of my head. I like Silent Hill 2 better than Silent Hill 1. I like Resident Evil 2 better than Resident Evil 1.
But Resident Evil 3 is better than Resident Evil.
Resident.
That's true, but that means each one is better than the last.
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
As opposed to the second one being kind of
Yeah, like the sequel.
like Resident Evil 2 is just like improvement on improvement.
Yeah. So, and I think to me, like the closest comparison that I can have for my feelings on like Doom 2016 to Doom Eternal, and of course, like I'm a broken record for saying this, but this to me is DMC 3 to DMC 4, and Eternal is DMC 4. The raw combat, the raw mechanics, I think
Yeah.
are just head and shoulders better. They are the best it's ever been for this style
I
of
don't
like
like
first person shooter
DMC4.
arena. I fucking love it. I love it. It plays phenomenally. It plays like a dream, but everything else falls in comparison. Whereas you got DMC3, which is a complete package. Even if it doesn't give you the same variety or options,
It's got soul.
it's just the total package is better in DMC3 compared to 4, which nailed one aspect, which is the most important aspect, the core gameplay, but kind of dropped the ball everywhere else. And I think Eternal is a little better
Yeah,
than DMC.
I heavily agree.
Oh, pardon me?
I heavily agree. Yeah, I think that's a really strong comparison. 2016 is
I
like
will-
DMC3,
Yep.
and
I will probably
Eternal's
agree with
like
you
4.
in the morning, but it is 3:30, and I'm tired, and I'm gonna
okay,
cut
okay.
myself off here before I say something stupid.
No, okay, fair enough.
No, for sure. We're all gonna end here now. Then
Yeah.
that's the
All
right
right.
call to make.
Well, this was a fun little podcast. I hope whoever is listening to this enjoyed it.
Okay.
Yeah, I hope so too. Yeah, say goodbye, Doomed.
All right, take it easy, everybody.
Goodbye, friends, and other friends listening.
Peace out and thanks.
And like just to
Peace out
clarify.
and thanks for listening.
Oh, sorry. I was
go
just going to
ahead.
say one clarification. I think Doom Eternal is a great game. I'm going to be playing the shit out of this for the foreseeable future. I just think it's got some areas that are kind of
Yeah. To be clear, I think we all believe Doom Eternal is a fantastic game. It's important to air out the flaws when we
Hey,
see them.
you
that's
criticize the things that you love.
all.
Exactly.
Exactly. That's a really good way to put it. All right. Thanks for listening, everyone. Good night.
Take it easy.